Welcome, everybody, to something that is probably not going to work very well, but we're going to try. This is something
a little more faith, Jared.
Completely different. You're reading my screen correctly. It says Jared DM instead of Jared Charlatan. We're doing something a little different while Phoenix Company takes a bit of well-deserved downtime. Really, while Phoenix Company's DM takes some well-deserved downtime.
Thank you much, everybody.
We're going to be running a brand new mini campaign for the next few weeks called Shadows at Twilight, and we're just so thankful that you guys are here to join us for the adventure. Now, if you remember the announcement that you might have heard when we first pitched this idea to you at the end of one of our episodes, this is going to take place at the same time that the Phoenix Company campaign is taking place in the same world, but on a different continent. This is on the continent on the other side of the Bastion Sea, which is Wildaria. And that is the continent that our previous campaign in the Nominal Tales took place in, only 30 years after that one ended. So we're going to have a whole lot of fun tonight. We're going to meet some new characters. And also, just as a quick reminder, if you've never seen the Nominal Tales, if you have no idea what the Nominal Tales is, that's okay.
Totally
you don't need to know. We're going to reference some stuff.
Is it though?
But you'll just get to enjoy us reacting to recurring. You know what? I changed my mind.
They can retroactively go
I changed my mind. Pause the video, go listen to 86 episodes of the Nominal Tales.
Exactly.
And then come back and hit play.
That's what I was going to recommend if you did.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you don't have to do that.
Just a little bit of backstory.
You don't have to do it. But while we're in kind of a chuckling mood in fireside fashion, we're going to start off with getting our chuckles mustered here. Let me go ahead and get your theme song kind of rolling here.
Yeah, tonight I get to play Apprentice to the Master of Chuckle Mustering.
As punishment. He is the apprentice chuckle musterer, and then in parentheses it says probation.
Probationary period.
All right, so come on, Proby, tell us what the joke is.
With no further ado, why do chicken coops only have 2 doors?
I know the answer to this one. I'm going to let somebody else guess it.
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Don't spoil it this time, Adam.
No.
Because if they had 4, they would be chicken sedans.
That's right.
The two guys from Texas knew it. Come on,
right?
What if you're British and you refer to them as saloons?
My favorite part of that was Jeff's Elmer Fudd's laugh.
No, that was just foul, and here we go again.
That was foul. Yes. We're not making another video.
No more chicken
supercut. No more supercuts of puns. Just stop it right now. Anybody that doesn't stop it, their character gets an aneurysm. I swear to God. All right.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yes.
Don't lay an egg, Jared. Come on.
Gosh, what have I done?
There's so many chicken jokes. There's so many chicken jokes.
What have I done? Okay, so I got a question for you guys. Who's ready to play some D&D?
Yeah, me. I'll raise my hand.
Tonight?
All right.
Tonight?
Well,
It has been tonight?
years. Right now.
I know Brendan is. Okay. Yes.
It's been years since Brendan actually got. This is actually, and if Brendan looks a little more excited than usual, this is, I believe, the first time you've gotten to play in your world, correct?
How many DMs can say that they got to do that?
Not a lot.
There you go. There you
Show
go.
off. All right.
I love it, dude. I love it so much. This is so awesome. What an honor.
All right, well, let's kind of change gears here as I begin to set the stage for our little game. 30 years ago, the gates of the hells opened, and the world nearly burned. Trapped in an endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, the world of Telosia served as the battleground between forces beyond imagining, as Orcus, the demon lord of undeath, tried again and again to tear apart the fabric of reality in order to let loose his Taken, an endless horde of demonic undead. For if Orcus succeeded in tearing down the material plane of this distant realm, his Taken could use Telosia as a springboard into other, deeper places. And not even the gods themselves would be able to stop them from consuming the endless worlds of the multiverse. So, in their past desperation, the gods would choose champions to rise against the Taken in an attempt to seal their infernal gates before they could fully break through. However, each of these attempts failed, the heroes falling short of such a lofty goal. Armies of knights clad in shining armor, wizards of incredible power able to weave the very fabric of reality, dragons borne aloft by hurricane wings. In the end, all failed, forcing the gods each time to stem the ceaseless tide by wiping Telosia clean of all life in Cataclysm, only for the cycle to begin again, and again, and again, and again. The cycle seemed doomed to repeat forever, for how could mere mortals succeed, where even dragons could fail? But fate is a funny thing, and in the end, it wasn't dragons, or champions, or even gods who managed to stop Orcus and free Telosia from the scourge of his Taken. Instead, it was 6 unlikely heroes, 6 men of simple origins and strange destinies to solve the riddle of the Taken. There was Eros, the bard, who fled as a bridegroom only to one day find himself king of a new nation, soaring on the winds of fate beneath ivory wings. There was Kethid, a half-orc cleric of Kamaria who escaped a life of pillage and murder only to find the love of his goddess and the strength to overcome death itself. There was Fenwick, a wizard of great knowledge if not power, who in searching for his kidnapped son found the might to defeat demons, even his own. There was Domingo, an elven blade singer who carried the weight of an entire race on his shoulders, and in that struggle found friendship to help him lift the burden. There was Mardigan, who outgrew the blades of his past while seeking to avenge lost love, discovering his own heart in the process. And last, but by no means least, there was Rek, a mysterious half-orc whose innocence and tragic fate forged companions into brothers, both in hearts and arms. They weren't heroes, they weren't perfect, they weren't invincible, but together they found the strength to become legends, to become Diamond Dogs. When the dust had settled and the gates closed forever, Telosia was saved, but at a terrible cost. Eros, first king of Telea, had fallen in the final battle, leaving in his wake a legacy of hope and lasting peace, a legacy that the surviving Diamond Dogs swore to pursue and uphold. But peace is not a static thing, and in the following years, many more battles will be fought and won, and the people of Telea lived on to face a future once dreamed impossible. So now, we turn our focus away from the Freerheim and the adventures of Phoenix Company, to across the Bastion Sea, to the lands of Wildaria, where the Diamond Dogs rose to legends. The year is 604 AX. It has been more than 30 years since the final battle against the Taken was won. All in Wildaria know the name Diamond Dogs. None more so than the people of Denarental, the capital city of Telea, which sits in the shadow of the Diamond Hold, once the stronghold for the Diamond Dogs themselves. And it is here where we shift our focus, as 5 strangers, each summoned to this legendary city by a mysterious letter containing a simple invitation for an evening at drinks at Pasture's Tavern. All right. So, as you walk through Dinarental, if you're familiar at all with how we described the city in the previous campaign, it is grown significantly in the last 30 years. It is now something of a smaller metropolis. Right around about 150,000 people live here now. Its borders has expanded. It's still in the midst of this dense wood in the northeast of Karis, of what once was the Karis Republic. And now we have this river running through, and there's a giant waterfall with a bridge spanning across the river before the falls to the keep of Diamondhold itself. And it is booming, it is peaceful, and it is absolutely lovely to just be here in this city. For those of you, as you're making your way to Diamondhold itself, where Pasture's Tavern is located within the keep complex itself, as you reach the bridge that spans the river over into the center aisle of the river, which houses the keep, there is a statue at the foot of this bridge of a king with beautiful features, his wings behind him spread out, and holding his open hands in front of him, as the stone has been carved to make it appear as if there is a sword, a long sword, floating in midair between his open hands. And at the bottom of that statue is a plaque that says, Eleros Ducil I, our friend, our hero, our king. Then crossing the bridge, you come across the main gate of Diamondhold, and through that you come into the main courtyard of the keep itself. And in the center of this courtyard is another statue, this one just as big and just as expertly carved. Only this one shows a titanic, muscled, brutal even looking half-orc covered in what appear to be either cracks or scars, as he kneels down, holding up next to him a double-bladed full half-moon battle axe that has a small smiley face carved into one of the blades, either on purpose or by some strange little piece of graffiti that somebody might have come along and put on there. But instead of a sneer of violence or bloodshed, his face is cracked with a warm, friendly, almost childlike smile as he kneels down to laugh along with the statue of the child that is before him. The plaque on that statue reads, "To Rek, our friend." Then you go over to the left, you take a hard left, and you'll notice that there is a stairwell cut into the actual rock that leads down to a door. And above the door is a wooden sign, hand-carved, beautifully, masterfully worked, and it has a picture of a sunlit pasture with a fence in the foreground, and in the middle ground of the carving are 3 sheep grazing in the field, and in the background a bright sun. And below them it says in common, pastures, and there is a scroll work kind of etching around the edge at the border of the sign. So let's see here. Who gets to pastures first? I'm going to go ahead and say that the first person to arrive here this particular evening, summoned by a letter that they received a month ago, is Andrew's character. So, Andrew, as you go down the stairs toward the door, I need to know what languages you can read.
I can read Common and Gnomish.
Okay, so as you get closer, go ahead to the sign. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Sure. First roll.
First roll.
Not great. Not horrible. 13.
Okay, it's a sign. You successfully read that this is where you need to go. All right.
No other iconography around. Sign. All right.
Yeah, a sign. Correct. Nice. All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start this map
Ooh, oh.
So you guys can go ahead and hit your maps.
Ooh.
As Andrew's character arrives here at Pastures. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
Just getting up to it.
All right, let's put you in here, shall we? Okay, Andrew, as your
Holy
character,
commoners.
as your character walks through the front door of this very crowded tavern on a busy night, why don't you describe your character for us?
Yeah. So you would see a character in a long, dark traveling cloak. Hood is pulled up over. She, there aren't a whole lot of defining features that you can pick out of necessarily her guise right now. She does enter in through the main doors and pulls back her hood, and you see long dark hair that's been tied up into a bun with some bangs hanging down kind of at the temples. You would notice her rather stunning violet eyes, along with a fair but tanned complexion, as this is someone who has been outside or has been traveling a lot in the last several months.
She's human?
She appears to be human, yes.
Appears to be human.
I won't give you that piece of information, Jeff.
That's right, I know. I wouldn't expect it.
He tried. He tried.
Okay.
Humanish.
So when you enter Pastures, having never been here before, you're kind of taken aback by what you see. You expected a tavern. You probably even expected this being in an actual castle. You expected it to probably be a nice tavern, but you really weren't prepared. So as we said, there is a kind of like a stone island in the center of the river that the bridge leads you to, and the island is what the castle is on.
Yep.
But the rock has been carved out to where you walk down this stairwell, you come to the double doors, you open them, and then what you see inside is that Pastures is actually an underground cave almost that has been carved out. And at the very back, if you can actually see it here on the map, is a giant open area balcony that goes out a little bit, and that's open air. And just beyond the balcony is the waterfall that falls off just past the keep. Wow. So it is carved in the rock with a big open window behind the waterfall on the outside. And surprisingly, though, you don't hear rushing water. You can just see. There's no glass, and you can see the curtain of water, but you can't hear the crash and the sound of the falls. The furniture, the furniture, and all of the decorations in here are very fine. It's really, really nice. You would expect this to be a very high-end, almost private establishment, but as you look around the room, you notice all of these people sitting there eating, drinking, and there are, yes, some very finely dressed, clearly men and women of means, but there is also plenty of like laborers and workers and just normal, everyday, blue-collar people. It seems like everybody gets along like a house on fire in here, and there's no particular upper scale clientele to Pastures. So,
like a house on fire.
Like a house on fire.
I like that.
Now, Alexa, what do you want to do?
She's, she takes that first few moments of looking around, and you can tell like she's used to addressing down a crowd just by quickly looking. So she also doesn't want to be in the center of attention, having just walked through the doors, and will quickly try to walk down. As she walks, you'll notice she does have a side holster on her hip, and it is carrying something.
Okay. All right.
But she will then walk up and take a seat at the bar, kind of towards the end, far enough away from anyone else.
Okay, now this is going to sound like a silly question, but what stool do you sit at? There's those three stools there. Do you sit at this one? Is it going to do it?
I'm going to sit at the middle one of those three.
Okay, so you go to sit down there, and before you can,
oh boy,
before you can, the lady behind the bar, she younger, blonde hair, maybe late 20s, nice, though somewhat drink splattered leather apron on, rushes over and says, Miss, I'm sorry, but you can't sit there.
My mistake. And she'll just walk away.
Roll a perception check for me while you hear her say these things. This is a pretty low one. It's pretty hard to miss.
This will be a 16.
Oh yeah, you more than saw it. So as you were looking down, like you hear her say you can't sit there, so you go like, what, here? And you look down. You look down at the bar top. The bar top is black walnut. That whole thing is black walnut, and it has been polished to a near mirror shine. It looks expertly maintained, carefully polished and kept clean. You don't see really any scratches or score marks except in front of that particular seat that you sat down in front of where you sat down. And in the bar top, it looks like someone has carved several things, almost like a list, into the bar top.
Nice. That said, she will still just walk away from the bar and then take a seat at this empty table.
Okay.
Just try not to draw any attention to yourself at this moment.
Okay. Now we'll move over to a different character. Now, by the way, the time is around, let's say, it's probably about halfway between 6th and 7th bell. Okay? So let's add another character here. Adam, why don't you explain to us what your character looks like, as he has been here for a little over an hour now. And I'll let you put him wherever you think he needs to be put.
I would place him in probably this corner booth over here.
Okay, which one? Can you
top right.
Can you move your character?
Top right.
Oh, okay.
I don't. There he is.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can move.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So as Alexa walks in, there is a gentleman in the corner. He's got blonde hair, really, really dark tan skin, hair not slicked back, but it grows back. This kind of short trimmed blonde beard, these ice blue eyes, just these piercing ice blue eyes. And he's a hefty fella. He's sitting in the back corner of that booth, and he's got kind of like the one leg up on the side, just kind of leaning back, and he's got his arm on top of an axe that's sitting next to him that has a large kind of curved blade in the front with a little blade in the back. Actually kind of looks like a halberd, and has the little pointy thing going up in the top. And he's just kind of sitting back there with his axe in the corner. Not looking super friendly. Got kind of a glare on his face, has some scars, and he's about 5'6" if he were to stand up. And real hefty. He's got plate armor that's seen some use, reds and blues, tunic underneath, and just kind of sitting there, just kind of keeping an eye on the room and anybody that walks in the door. And so he's actually been watching Alexa ever since he came around the corner of the bar, and when he saw her try to sit down at that chair at the bar, he kind of chuckled a little bit.
Yeah. And
then watched her sit down. But he's
how long have you been sitting here in this particular seat?
About an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay. So as kind of maybe a minute or two after this new girl comes in and gets kicked out of that stool and sits down at the empty table. Another man slides into the booth, and he kind of normal guy. He's got kind of a bushy brown beard, a brown cloak on. The hood's back. He doesn't look dirty, but he doesn't look clean. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like he looks a little road weary, like he's been traveling maybe today. Mm-hmm. And he scooches in and says to that corner and says, "Do you do you mind if I sit?"
Yes.
You do.
That's usually what yes means.
Oh, can I say something? I'm not trying to start anything. I'm really not trying to be rude. It's just, you have got to be the biggest dwarf I've ever seen.
I get that. Pretty often. What's your point?
I don't really have one. I was just thinking of. I'm gonna go. You look like you're
It's a good idea.
Busy.
You look like a smart fella.
I'm just like, you have a pleasant evening, and he'll go over here and he'll sit over at these tables, and you see them. He gets between those other two guys, and they're looking at him, and he's kind of like, over exaggerating, kind of telling them the story of what just happened. Is like, that guy wouldn't let me sit over there. Can you believe it? I'm like, you see, and then you see him do this.
So he'll
clearly talking about how tall you are as a dwarf.
And so my guy will sit back and watch him walk over there, and he'll do the watching him thing, waiting for him to make eye contact kind of a deal again. And the second he does make eye contact, he'll just go.
And he goes, and just kind of looks down and like waitress,
Check.
Anything else you want to do, or are you good to just sit there and wait?
Good to just sit there and wait until 7th ring.
All right.
7th bell.
Okay. So let's add another player here. This time through the door, somebody very different to the previous two walks in. Brendan, why don't you describe who walks into Pastures next?
The next individual to walk into Pastures is a very young-looking female. She wears this really nice-looking half-plate with this crimson scarlet undergarment vestments that are there to kind of fill in where the plate is missing. You see earrings, these dangly earrings that she's wearing, and she moves from back and forth as she looks in. Her eyes are just this bright, this vibrant. She almost, you can tell this thirst for life. And she comes in and hears the music, and it's almost like this place of nostalgia. For one as young as she still has this nostalgia. You see very clearly pointed ears, but not over much so. Very beautiful features. Small, cute little nose that kind of just turns up slightly towards the tip. Bright. It's almost like a rose pink lipstick. And well-groomed eyebrows, and then also these irises of lavender. At her side, you can see a mace that is clipped to her belt, and just this traveling cloak that kind of sweeps up behind her, and kind of shakes off the dust of the outside, looks at the inside, and just kind of, again, gets lost for a second, and begins to survey the rest of the room. Notices how many people are here, and kind of steps just to the left, away from the door, and puts her back against it, puts her head there, and just opens her eyes and begins to sweep, her eyes crossing each and every face in the room. Not really looking for anything, but at the same time just soaking in the moment.
Okay. You're just gonna hang out there right by the front door?
It's a few moments. She's mostly just... You get the sense there's something here that feels right. It feels like home. And then she'll kind of stand up and make her way up to the bar. And she'll come up here. I suppose I can move her.
Yep.
She makes her way up, walking, kicks the chair and kind of like stumbles a bit and laughs. And the commoners who might look around, I'm sorry, it happens to me all the time. And gets up to the counter and sits down. Excuse me, can I sit here for just a second?
It's like kind of like this kind of older man, probably like late 60s, early 70s, and he's clearly been focusing on what is no doubt a multiple time refilled glass of whiskey.
Oh, no.
And he goes, what?
Oh my God, you stink so bad.
Why are you so loud?
Oh, this is not even. This is like quarter of my.
Stop shouting at me!
I think you might want to go and sleep this off. There are much better things that you could be doing with your life than to get your seventh glass of whiskey here.
I miss the old pastures. They let everybody in here now, and he just kind of wanders off and goes down. Whereas the person on the other side, a female, says, "Don't mind him. He's 3 sheets to the wind. You can sit here. You're fine."
I understand. He's going to be sleeping at that table soon, so I just wanted to let you know. How long have you worked here?
Oh, I don't work here. I'm sitting here.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was across the bar.
No, it's the person.
Okay,
just
the
south of
person
you.
is the lady next. Okay, all right. Oh, okay, yeah. It's kind of nice.
Have you been to a bar before?
Yes. Not often, but yes.
Oh. You want to? Should I flag the? Should I flag Tabby down?
She's busy. She'll get here when she has time. It's okay.
Well, actually, while you're talking, this other person who was clearly like he had a notepad and he was looking at the different bottles. There's this huge wall of this huge shelf of bottles with a mirror back, so it makes it look like there's more bottles than are actually there.
Sure.
And he's been taking notes and like looking at each label and things like that, clearly recording how much is left of what. But he overhears that, and you see him just kind of go, ah. And he turns around, he comes back to you and says, "Miss, can I get you something?"
Yes. She kind of giggles, almost like she has a secret to tell, and it's kind of just busting at just right behind her lips. I want to make a very special request.
A special request?
Yes, I need to.
I've got a menu. Do you want to look at a drink menu? Do you want to look at the drink menu, or maybe some food, or?
Well, maybe could you bring me a water and then perhaps, bring me a napkin?
Yes, that I can do. You are going to buy something, though, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay. So he goes over here, and as he walks away, you hear him is like, "Water. She wants water. Of course she wants water. Why would she order anything else in a
Do
stupid
people not
bar?"
normally drink water between their alcoholic beverages here?
No, the lady just south of you said, the stool next to you says, "Oh no, they do. In fact, more people should." And she looks back over at the old guy who left.
Yeah, is he asleep yet?
He's getting there. No, they do. They just usually order something alcoholic first, and then a water.
Yeah, but you see, it's so much better for your liver if you drink the water first.
Is it? I hadn't heard that. Is that
yes,
true?
It helps. Well, it's what I always do, and I don't seem to have a problem.
Well, I mean, forgive me, but you're a half elf, right?
What gave it away?
It's the ears, really. Is
that's
that profiling? Should I be doing that? I don't know if I feel.
What's profiling? I don't know.
I don't know. I just kind of feel uncomfortable pointing that out. I apologize if I offended you.
I'm very difficult to offend.
While he comes back over, Tam, this bartender, comes back over, and he sets down a tall water.
Yep.
And a napkin under it, and then another napkin.
She immediately takes out a pen and begins to scrawl a little note to him, folds it up and hands it back and says, "Here's my request, please."
Oh. That's weird.
Is it? People don't do that here?
They don't normally write it. I mean, we write orders down, but customers usually don't. It's okay. It's okay. You're ordering something. Okay. And he grabs the napkin and he opens it and reads it. What does it say?
It says a glass of Lindo 571 red.
So he looks at it and says, and he looks around nervously, like he doesn't want to be overheard, and he leans forward almost conspiratorially.
And she's leaning right in with him. She's so excited by this.
He says, Miss, I can't.
Why are we whispering?
I can't give you that. We don't have that.
No, you do.
No. We
if
don't.
you believe in your heart, you will find it.
And he looks at the girl next to you, and she goes, and then he looks back to you. He's like, you want me to go find you a spontaneous glass of wine?
I know it's around here somewhere. When you've seen as many miracles as I have, you stop using the word impossible.
Miracles.
Yes.
Miracles. And then the girl next to you says, "What did you order? I've never heard them say no before. What did you order?"
I'm not supposed to tell you.
And then Tam says, "Margaret, you want to stay out of this?"
Your name is Margaret. My name is Fleur. It is nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm so cute. Can I read it? And she goes to grab the...
you cannot read it. That's so silly.
And Tam says, no. Keep your voice down. Listen, I will bring you literally anything else you want, but I honestly cannot bring you this.
Well, then maybe you pass it off to Tabby. She's got me. Girl power, you know.
Okay. Okay. And he goes north, and you see him talk to the girl at the top of the bar, the one that told the other girl that she could...
Yeah, Fleur leans over the bar, just gives a little wave. Hey!
And he shows her the note, and she goes, there's a little, almost half silent argument ensues. and they're back and forth, and their voices are getting louder, a little bit louder and louder, but still that whisper kind of shouting, And then finally Tabby goes, all right.
She's just drinking her water. She's loving this.
And then Tabby comes down and says, "Hi.
Hi, Tabby. My name is Fleur."
Hi, yes. So glad you know my name already.
Well, other people have been using it.
Yes,
so I know. You look like a Tabby.
I am. Yeah.
I'm just saying it fits. They did a good job.
Listen, sweetheart, you can't get that wine.
Listen, okay, well, the reality is, I'm getting that wine.
Okay. I tell you what, why don't we do this? Why don't you sit here, and someone will bring it to you.
I believe.
Okay. And then she moves off and goes to talk.
See, I told you it would all work out.
I know. Just you have to have faith, right? Miracles, faith,
Margaret.
all that.
That's right. What god or goddess do you serve?
Oh, well, that's fair. I did ask you about your ears. I guess I don't know. Kamari is kind of a big deal. Here in Denarental, and I mean, I'm not super religious myself, but yeah, I've gone to a few.
So the Archbishop doesn't know you by name?
No, why would the Archbishop know me by name? No.
Well, I mean, the most faithful would love to be in his presence and learn wonderful things about...
I've seen him.
Right, but I mean, he is a very personable and approachable...
Yeah, he seems nice.
But he is, I'm telling you, he is.
Some people think the eye patch is off-putting, though.
But that's the thing, once you get to know him, you realize that it's just kind of part of his charm.
Wait a minute. Are you... You know him?
I mean, maybe a little.
I mean, do you know him, or did you met him once?
I mean, I just came here from a meeting with him and Miss Lady Eloise, the headmistress of the school here.
And she looks around, almost like she's being punked or something. And then she looks back and saying, "Wait a minute.
That's why I don't. So okay, so I really do love the headmistress, and that's why I'm kind of speaking like this, because that's how she speaks. And when I get with her, I just start speaking like that all over again.
Yeah.
Normally, my accent is much heavier with Carisian, but when I'm around her, I just it kind of comes out, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
You had a private audience with Kethid.
Private audience. We were just hanging out.
That's fascinating to me. And then she's like can't believe what she's saying, and then you guys.
Blair
keep
puts her
talking.
hand on her hand and says, "You really need to go to masses with Kethid. He's a wonderful person. He will not mislead you."
Okay.
I'm serious. This could be life-changing for you.
What did you order?
I just ordered. It's a secret. I can't tell you. For your own protection. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah, and you guys just keep talking over the drinks, and Margaret is leaning ever closer and talking even lower because she's finding you more and more interesting to talk to.
Sure.
And then
Fleur's never met a stranger, so just so you know.
Yeah.
Got that. Check. Yeah.
And then while you're talking, someone else comes through the front door. Cody, would you be so kind as to describe your character to us, please?
He's a mountain dwarf, and he's got a massive great axe that he's holding in his hand, and he looks like he's been through a little bit of a meat grinder. He's got lots of scars, and he looks like he's just come from some of them are older and worn down and more faded, but some of them look pretty fresh. And he just looks like somebody that you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley or in a bright sunlit alley or any other place at all, because he just has this look like he's
Real
not
rough
afraid
looking.
of a fight.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid of a fight, and he
Or
isn't-
starting one.
or starting one. Exactly. He looks wary, like he's expecting a trap, and he doesn't look comfortable at all. And he's not surprised by what he sees in here, like he's been here before, but he is definitely looking to see if there's somebody that stands out or is kind of out of place. And he looks like he just really is on edge. So what he's going to do is he's wearing just plain simple traveling clothes. It looks like he hasn't changed. He's got his little traveling pack with him, and it looks like basically everything he owns is in that pack. So he's pretty dirty, disheveled, and definitely not in any kind of sorts to be in a tavern, chilling with anybody else. He's just
Fish out of water.
He's a fish out of water. He sticks out like a sore thumb for sure.
Okay.
So he's going to come in the door and he's going to go over and he's like giving this commoner right here the stink eye, and he's going to sit in this. Let's see if I can
right on top of him. He's gonna.
Well, he's
Thanks for the booster seat, laddie.
He's going to leave a chair or a seat in between him.
So he's
going to
take the corner stool there at the bottom.
He's
the
you
other
can tell
one, you
he's
can't see
he's trying to make sure that he can see everybody and that he has quick access to the door if he needs to leave quickly.
Right.
And he puts that great axe, leans it up close to the bar where it easy access, where he has really quick access to it if he needs it. And he kind of looks at the commoner that's 2 seats over from him and just sneers. And he doesn't say anything, but he makes it very, very apparent that he is not here for conversation or anything. And he just sits there.
So after he's there for a few minutes or so, Tabby starts coming down. As she passes Floor's stool, she just goes, "Just a couple more minutes," and then comes over and stands in front of your place at the bar, and says, "You're back."
Yeah. Here. I'm supposed to meet somebody.
Now I hope you're ready to pay for your own drinks this time.
Just whatever's cheapest. And he throws like a copper on the.
Okay. I'll tell you what. That'll get you a nail. Does the nail sound good? Unless you want, you seem to really like our house ale, Storm Singer. You could.
No, a nail is fine.
Okay, all right, 1 ale, and
Gratitude.
she goes over to the counter, grabs an ale, and comes back, a tankard, and puts it down on you, in front of you. Takes your copper, and says, "Okay, well, if you need anything else, I'm just going to be right over there. You just call Tabby over, okay?"
Gratitude.
You don't talk very much, do you?
He just snorts, shakes his head no,
I kind of like that.
and looks down at the bar.
We could use 10 more customers just like you. And she walks north. Do you want to do anything else? Or you're just going to sit there and drink?
I'm scoping the bar, but yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and just sip. He's
Okay.
not chugging it; he's just sipping it.
I will say Alexa would have been trying to. Is there like a barmaid or
Yeah, so there's
tavern?
there's this other barmaid, Nan, who has come. She has come to your table. While all that was happening, she has come to your table and said, "What can I get you, love?"
I'm looking for a particular vintage, if you might have it. I need a 571 of Lindo Red.
Oh, how loudly do you say that?
Not loudly, like it. Only
Okay.
or she would have been able to hear that.
Okay. I'm so sorry, love, but we don't stock Lendo.
Insight check.
All right.
I don't trust this.
So wait a minute.
What even is my set? I don't know this character. Sorry.
What am I even doing?
17.
What are stats?
She seems sincere. She's got kind of like you're picking up sincerity, you're picking up kindness, but you're also picking up surprise. Like she was not expecting you to order that.
Well then, do you have like the 572?
Oh no, I'm so sorry, darling. I gotta pick an accent for this girl.
Welcome to my world.
I'm so sorry, love. No, it's not that. It's that we don't have Lindo at all. We don't have the 571, the 572, the 573. We just don't have it. I can bring you a drink menu if you'd like to see it.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
We've got an excellent wine cellar, but no Lindo.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Can I get you something else? Would you like to see the menu?
Yeah, the drink menu would be perfect.
Okay, so she goes and she brings you a drink menu, and on it, you see the following items. If my notes will cooperate, here we go. All right. So you can get a common ale if you want. You can get a glass of wine from the wine cellar. They have Cyrano brandy. They have Marcadonian mead, Galician moonshine. They have an 8-year and a 12-year and a 20-year Cosart bourbon.
It's like the moonshine.
The moonshine? And she says, "Oh, you want the moonshine? Okay. That's going to be 3 copper. It's a bit of fair warning, love. I'm not a lot of people order it, but being from Galicia, I can tell you, it's not very tasty, but it will strip paint."
Spicy.
My teeth on harder stuff, I promise.
Excellent. All right. It's your funeral. And she turns around and she goes and she brings you a glass of Galician moonshine. Go ahead and drink it if you want.
I will, and I'll shoot it back.
Okay, you shoot it back? Constitution saving throw.
All
Here
right.
you go.
Here we go.
Natural 20.
There you go.
Oh, shut up. There you go.
You it's this clear liquid like vodka or gin, and you take it, and as soon as like the smell hits your nose, like whoa.
Yeah.
and you hit it. It's like you have just drank a shot of watered down Everclear, basically. and I mean, it burns, it stings, your eyes start to water, but you fight it back. She's standing there watching you do this, and she goes, "That was quite impressive."
Like I said, I've cut my teeth on harder stuff.
I want you to know that I'm legally obligated to not give you another one of those.
It's fair. I'll just take a water then.
Okay, that's probably for the best. And then she goes and she gets a water and brings it back to you.
Anyone paying attention, like she didn't react very much at all to the taste or anything. Like she's fairly accomplished. Like even the smell might have caused the reaction, but like the actual taste and the consumption of it did nothing.
Yeah. She was stone faced for it.
Oh yeah.
So you
My
actually
dude's
see her. You actually see her go this way. I'm gonna need. It's not quite in your line of sight. Well, let's see. She's gonna go. She's gonna kind of go over here after she gets your water. Gonna wander over here. Do you watch her leave, or like you keeping an eye on her? Okay. Give me. I'm actually gonna need a perception check from both you and Fleur, please.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice.
Has the 7th bell chimed yet at this point?
24.
Not yet.
23 for me.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Solid first roll.
She is talking to somebody that you can't see on the other side of that divider. On that divider, there are some bookshelves. It's like a kind of like a freestanding wall, and like around the other side, you can see like the leather of somebody's boot that she's talking to, but you can't see who she's talking to.
There.
Okay. All right. So you guys, and does anybody else want to do anything before we get to our final introduction?
So Fleur kind of leans back over and says, "Do people dance here?
Oh yeah.
But does the band only know the one song, or?"
No, but the guy who picks the music is kind of lazy.
Oh, okay. I understand. I was just wondering.
They have played different songs. This is just the flavor.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Brendan throwing shade at the DM. Just
Yeah, I know.
I don't get to do this, guys. I don't get to do this.
Don't worry, I'll get him later.
I know. Jared has license. Like,
This is my chance to get back at Brendan for all of the years of crap he's put me through.
you're right. You're right.
And unfortunately, we're in the crossfire too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if Fleur survives this.
Okay.
Stand far away from Fleur. Got
It is
Okay.
about to it. One second, just sorry.
All good. Yeah, Fleur
Oh, wait.
is really
No,
loving
the opposite
all
of what
this.
the opposite of what I just sent you. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Sorry. Whispers. Okay.
Whisper,
All right.
whisper.
Now, it is just about to turn 7th bell, where our final arrival finally makes the stairs running late. Now, Jeff, what languages do you speak?
Common and Abyssal.
And Abyssal. Okay. So you see the sign, and it's just a sign.
It's a sign.
Actually,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll a perception check though as you pass under it.
Okay. Which I have a stinky yet. Oh, I rolled a 19 though.
Okay. As you pass under, you notice, kind of like in your own scatterbrained kind of way, as you pass, you're like, huh. But the scroll work on the outside of the sign, along the border of the sign, is actually a written language that you do not speak. Does anyone in the group speak Celestial?
You?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, then none of you know what it says.
Sweet.
All right.
Well, there's that bit of lore he doesn't get a drop.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Everybody learn it.
Yeah. If you did, is what he knows you.
Okay. So, just as the 7th bell chimes, the doors bust open and somebody in a rush enters in. Jeff, why don't you describe your character to us?
Well, he
Already went off on a tangent.
he comes in. He's got a kind of a blue-black cloak, of hints of leather underneath, but it's a lot of blue. Blue seems to be a theme with him. It's weather worn. It looks like one of his edge of his cloak might be kind of caught in the back, like he just never paid attention. It didn't get unfolded, and you see some. Looks like he's got some weeds or thorns along the back, like he's been walking in the woods. He's got an amulet around his neck, and it's like a delicate blue round thing. You see a backpack on. His hair is the thing you notice. Probably weird thing is that his hair and his skin. His hair is like a light blue, and it kind of wispy, and it seems to just wisp above his head, and his skin is blue. And his skin occasionally seems to sparkle, just occasionally as he turns, and his eyes are an intense blue and bright. And he comes in with a kind of a pleasant expression on his face, and he's looking around like. So he just kind of walks in. You see him as he walks in. You notice he's got shoes look like moccasins, and it looks like there's something might be stuck in his hair. It looks like a bug or something, but he comes in and he takes off his backpack as he walks in. He just walks straight forward. He's like kind of in a hurry, and he kind of goes straight. He walks very quickly, and he goes, here, let me see if I can move him.
Yeah, you can move him.
Yeah, he kind of goes straight up. He goes and he says, "Oh wow, a band." And then he goes here and he's like, "Oh man," and is that water? And he just drops his backpack right there next to the table and just starts. And he walks right over the stage.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Whoa, man, that is." Oh. And then he turns back around. Excuse me. You come to go back on stage.
Yeah, you bump the guy playing, and there's like a discordant note. Hey.
Excuse me. And then he stops and looks around. And you can tell he's looking for somebody.
Hey, they played something different for. Oh.
Okay, now does he see any waiters? Is there a close waiter to, or is he just see the bartenders?
He sees the bartender, Tam, the male bartender.
Yeah, he
right
just
there.
heads back over there. He just heads over, and he's about here.
During this time, Alexa's going to try and sleight of hand the backpack.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Fleur stands up and starts walking over towards the newcomer.
Tangent, I'm going to need you to roll, let's see, that would be perception against his 20.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I rolled 18. It wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad.
Ooh. So, okay, what do you do with the sleight of hand, Andrew?
I'm just trying to see if there's any quick money I can take
I can tell you exactly what's in it.
Yeah.
I have my list, so.
Is there money in there?
Nope.
Is there a piece of paper? Like a letter?
Nope.
Okay. Never mind then. She quickly goes through and finds there's no money, there's nothing like that, and she'll just leave it alone then.
There's
So-
there's a little hand hammer sticking out of it.
She doesn't care.
So while you guys are doing all this, the clock in here is going dong,
Okay.
dong,
I say-
dong.
Okay, and I come over to the Tam. Say, Tam. Or I don't know Tam. I don't know his name.
You said, yeah.
Yes, could you help me real quick? I would like a Bloody Shade Prime.
A what?
A bloody. Oh, that's how I remembered it. Come here. And I lean over to him. It's okay. Bloody. Red shade. Window. Lindo. And Prime 571's a prime number, so I'd like a 571 Lindo red.
Hey, that's
if
what
you
I
could-
asked for.
Sorry.
What-
Did you
what
hear
do you-
that?
what?
Oh, you have lovely eyes, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay.
I like your hair. Can
he-
you? I think you have a bug here.
And she kind of takes it.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What do you want?
Well, here, you can have it if you want. It's just a little guy.
Oh, wow. Man, that may have been from the Feywild. I don't know. I hope not.
Listen.
Right,
I'm
you go
sorry.
to the
I'm
Feywild?
sorry. This is not a flea market. What?
I don't think it's a flea, so don't worry about it. I've had fleas before, and it's not pleasant.
This is
I'm
also
telling
not
you.
a market, so
You
I
think-
don't. I think you need
That's
to.
true.
That's my
This
point.
doesn't even look like a market.
From the
Exactly.
corner,
Unless there's, like,
my
people,
guy,
which would be just
my guy
terrible.
just kind of says out loud. He said a 571 Lindo red.
Okay. As soon as you say it loud,
Uh-huh.
the bar goes quiet. Like the bards stop playing their song. There are many songs that they worked very hard on.
That was just a wicked set, man. What a banger today.
Can't
And
wait for tomorrow's.
and then you see Tam lean forward on the bar and he says, Kamaria, save me.
She can.
Okay.
Do you know the bishop?
Yeah, but
Yes, I do.
yes.
That's good.
I've heard of Kethid. Yes, I've heard of him. Yes.
But you turn around like Alexa, because you have been scanning the room.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at the bar. Then you see,
Fleur leans into Tinge and goes, "Do you think they're staring at us?"
I don't know.
then you see
This is
from around that corner
Should
where
we
Nan
dance?
was talking.
Maybe we should dance. Anyway.
Where Nan was talking.
Okay.
You see a man step out. He is wearing dark clothes, a kind of like a cut cloak. It's not like a cloak like a traveling cloak. It's like a fashion item. It's actually cut to where it is covering this side, including his arm. He has got a groomed, like very trimmed, neat beard that comes to a point, black hair, bright green eyes. And he comes out, and now in the silence of the bar, you can hear his boots clicking against the stone floor of the tavern. And he comes over, and he stands here, and he looks Alexa up and down, and he looks Tangent up and down, and Fleur up and down, and Darius up and down. And then he looks to Tam, and he says, "Is there a bit of trouble here, boss?" And Tam says, No, Quinlan, no. No trouble." He says, "Are you sure? It seems like we've had something of a breach in protocol."
Yeah,
And
so
then
we've tried to order this wine, and he won't give us any. So
Then the music stopped, and it's like, man, when you get really quiet in here, it's weird. I tell you, it's not as weird.
it
as
is. It's a different energy.
energy. Interesting.
Hold on, sorry, I just gotta whispers.
Well, while all this is going on, like whenever Adam's character said that out loud, Tristan reached into his pack and he pulled out a letter, and he opens it up, and he's kind of scanning it real quickly, and he puts it back in, and he's staring at the group across the bar, He's not going to move close to him, but he reaches down and he puts his hand on his axe.
Okay.
Like he expects something to pop out, or he's expecting a Jack in the Box at this point.
So he says, "Are we quite sure about that?" And he says it loudly, and then somebody else comes forward, a guy that you actually did see when he came in. You didn't really pay him much mind, but a big 7 foot tall, almost 8 foot tall Goliath comes up behind him and crosses his hands behind, or across his chest, and he's standing directly behind Quinlan, and he says, you know, we don't serve Lindo. Not only do we not serve Lindo, but I don't know about the rest of you. And he turns to talk to the crowd, and he says, we have a bit of a tradition here at Pastures, you see. One we haven't necessarily used in a long time, but I think it might be time to wake sleeping dogs up. And then then Tabby rushes forward and says, No, we're not doing that, Quinlan. No, we're not. Remember what happened? You remember what happened last time? Oh, pish posh. It's just a bit of fun. I mean, I think the bar knows. I think the patrons all know what they want to see. And then you hear this kind of stunned silence while they all, like, their eyes get big, especially the common folk. The nobles, not so much. You can see that they lean forward a little bit, but the blue collar workers and people in here get really visibly excited, and they go 3 throws. 3 throws. I'm trying to say throws. 3 throws, and they start 3 throws, and no, and Tabby and Tam are going, no, we're not doing that. And
Darius is going to look at the commoner to his left and be like, "What's 3 throws?"
And he goes, "Oh, it's the best. It's the best thing that ever happens at Pastures."
Fleur kind of looks down, almost like nervously, and whispers something under her breath. And all of a sudden, these tremors begin to rattle the floor for just a couple of seconds.
Tensions, earthquake.
Everybody kind of stops and says, "Did anybody else feel that?"
Man, I did.
Whatever. 3 throws, and then finally Quinlan puts up his hand, that's not under the cloak, and says, "All right. I think we should ask the owner." And then you see everybody in the tavern go, "Ugh. Like, don't do that." and Tabby says, "Quinlan, I really don't think that is necessary." No. I think it is. I think he should be the deciding vote. Go get him. Tabby says, "I'm not going in there. I'm just not." And he says, "Fine. Oh, Nan." And then Nan will come down and say, "All right, keep your shorts on." And
He should do that anyway. He would have a lawsuit on his hands if he did.
And then she goes down to that door, that single door, down in the bottom west, near the bottom west corner. Composes herself, takes a breath, says, "Oh, I can't believe he's making me do this." And she goes down, closes the door, and then, I know, she's a chameleon. And then she finally comes back up and says, "Before he gets here, I want you to know, Quinlan, this is your fault." And then coming out behind her is a tall, gaunt, wearing completely black man.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude with lanky black hair. Hyper pale complexion. Looks like he just like was buried in a grave somewhere until yesterday. Sunken eyes, dark circles. And it's almost like he doesn't walk in. It's almost like he floats in. And there's like just a change in the air when he enters the tavern.
Fleur immediately sees him and goes, "Oh, hi, Keith."
I'm so happy.
What's all this ruckus going on? Was the floor shaking a minute ago?
Yeah, I think you have an earthquake problem.
Yep. And
Why am I was in the middle of contemplating the secrets of the universe, and this stranger comes in. I'm not a stranger. I've known you for 4 years, you daft idiot. I've never seen you before, madam, in my life. What's going on? And Quinlan says, these lovely patrons here, and he points to the 4 of you, have ordered a glass of Lindo Red.
And Fleur goes, 3 throws, 3 throws. For him, he said it.
I love how your earrings shake when you say that. That's really cool.
Yes, do you like the roses?
I do.
His eyes get bigger. His eyes open, and you see like these bloodshot, roomy eyes. and he says, "Are we still doing the 3 throws thing?" Oh. Well, I think that we should. And then Tabby speaks up and says, "Keith, do you remember what happened last time? He lost 3 fingers." Oh. Well, I suppose we have a mop. And he turns around and walks back down and closes the door. And then Quinlan turns and says, "All right. 3 throws it is, but..." And he walks over to Alexa. And he places a hand on your shoulder.
She immediately slaps it off.
Okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
13.
Okay. He grabs your wrist.
She immediately stands up and pulls out a firearm straight at his face.
Ooh.
He holds his hand out. "Let's go." And he says, "Forgive my brusqueness, but I was simply going to ask for a volunteer."
Yeah, but you really should ask for consent before you place your hands on another woman.
What do you say, love?
I think she's got a gum.
He's like, "Roll an insight check for me."
All right. Wow. Good roll for me. That is a 19.
He is not afraid of your gun at all.
That's what it's called.
Cool. She's just staring him down.
Mm-hmm. He's matching you, unblinking.
Yeah. She quickly looks at her wrist and then back to him.
I tell you what. Let me explain how this is going to work. We play a little game. If you win, your drinks are free for the rest of the night. If we win, and he gestures to the bar, you buy a round of drinks. And I'll tell you what, you all get to split. Sound fair?
So she still looks down at the fact that you're holding her wrist.
Oh, he let go. He let go.
Oh, okay.
He did this. He let go. He's only got the one hand. So he'll only have the one hand showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She'll spin it around and slide it back into the holster, and she says, "All right." I'll play game.
You hear that, everyone? She's gonna play, and then they all go, "Yeah!" And the tone in the bar suddenly changes. The bards pick up their music again, but now there's people going, "Woo!" and then immediately, you see people start placing bets. Over here, oop, I didn't mean to move that guy. Over here, in this part of the bar, against the wall, everybody starts placing bets and gathering around. And he doesn't touch you, but he gestures for you to lead the way, and he leads you over there. I'm guessing everybody's attention stays. Tristan, are you coming around, or are you going to stay where you're at?
Yeah, he's gonna pick up his great axe, and he's gonna get a little closer. He's not gonna get in the middle of it, but he's gonna walk to where he can get a better eye view of what's going on and hear what's being said. So he'll probably stop like right in here somewhere.
So he leads you over there, and you see immediately, you saw a piece of it before, you might have noticed it before, but you didn't really think much of it. Against that wall is a nearly floor-to-ceiling piece of wood, wooden boards kind of like nailed together and placed together, and it's got divots in it, and there's a line marked on the floor about 20 feet back, like kind of like inlaid into the stone, and immediately you can tell this is a knife throwing board. And he says, "Here's how the game works. You hold something against the board, and I get 3 throws of a dagger. If you flinch, I win. If you flinch, I win. If you don't, I lose. Sound good?"
She kind of like breathes heavily and like, all right.
Well, now, by the way, is anybody else placing bets, or are you guys staying? You guys staying out of the betting?
Well, Fleur actually, she makes her way over to Alexa, and accidentally fumbles her water and drops it on the floor, but tries to like catch it so that it doesn't shatter, but ends up like falling down towards the ground
with it.
Can
I see if I can catch it?
Yeah. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
That will be a 15.
Okay. Let's see. You catch it.
So while we're down, she like looks up at you and goes, "Oh, that was such a good catch," and like places her hands on the floor around her, like because she stumbled, got down on one knee, places a hand on Alexa's foot and says a quick little words of a prayer, and stands back up and casts bless on her.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
My guy's gonna, in the meantime, walk over to behind Quinlan and kind of tap him on the shoulder.
Well, they're actually not there anymore. They're over here now. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Yeah, so she was trying to be very, very stealthy and discreet about that, and it's like a part of her motion to stand back up.
Yeah, so like they're there right now.
Okay.
So
Quinlan's
we'll
just
put,
no, sorry.
We'll put her there. We'll put Fleur here. Okay.
My guy's gonna walk up and kind of tap Quinlan on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, is there, just out of curiosity, is there any reason in particular you picked her? I'm genuinely curious. You didn't really ask for volunteers. You kind of picked one."
True. Do you have a problem with that?
I might.
She agreed.
Alexa will lean over and say, "You have a problem with me?"
Not with you, with him picking you and then saying he's asking for volunteers.
She could say no. Someone else is one of the other 3 of you are more than welcome to take her place if you want to.
I'd be
if she
happy
consents to it.
I'd be happy to if she would allow me.
What do you say? What do you say, young lady? Are you going to let the big, scary dwarf take your place?
I think I can fight my own battles. Thank you very much.
Just not a fan of people picking on little people.
All right.
Tall,
well,
how actually tall are you?
he's 5'6".
5'6".
Okay, so I'm 3 inches taller than you.
He's the tallest dwarf
really?
you've ever seen.
I heard gnome at the very beginning, and so I
can speak gnomish.
Oh,
That doesn't mean
okay.
I am a gnome.
caught that. I misunderstood that. My apologies.
No, she is normal human size.
Okay.
I'm the tallest gnome you've ever seen.
Yeah, no joke.
There's more betting going around. So somebody comes up to Tristan and say, "Who are you betting on? Are you betting on her or are you betting on Quinlan?"
He just looks over and says, "Not betting," and just turns away.
Okay, well you're terrifying, and he and he leaves. Somebody asks Tangent and says, "Oh, you should bet on Quinlan."
Well, I am going to look through my backpack. Have you seen it? Oh, there it is. Never mind. Excuse me. I'll be betting over there.
Oh, okay. Do any of you place bets?
No. Flair's not the gambling type.
Okay.
10 gold on the girl.
Okay. 10 gold on the girl.
Tangent gets out some dice.
Okay.
He doesn't roll them. He just stacks them.
Makes a little dice tower.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
All right. Once the
Yeah,
betting
don't-
has ceased, you see Quinlan say, "All right, that's enough."
Ooh.
Now, for the first item, what would work? And he goes over to this commoner up top who's just been minding his own business trying to quietly read in this corner, and he takes the book out of his hands. And the guy goes, "Hey!" And he says, "Don't worry, I'll give it right back." And he walks up to Alexa and he hands her the book and says, "Place the book against the board and hold it there." So I'm assuming you're holding it like this, like pinch maybe? Or are you, how are you holding it?
Like kind of an L, like a rough binding.
Okay. All right. Like that kind of. Yeah. Okay. And you put it against the board and you see, and he says, "Perfect." And he reaches behind him and he pulls out, not a throwing knife. He pulls out like an honest to God dagger.
Okay. Cool.
And he spins it and lets it finger roll. And immediately you can tell how good this guy is with this knife. And so, and then he, without using his other hand, just in the one hand, he does this and flips it and catches it. And then he goes back to the line. And they said, "Okay. Don't flinch now." And he throws. Now here's what I'm going to need you to do. I'm going to need you to make 2 saves. One, I'm going to need you to make a reflex. All right, let's say not reflex. I'm thinking Pathfinder. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to not flinch.
You have a D4 added to that because
And you have
of
a
bless.
D4.
Nice. Thank
I have
you.
reflex, so that's different. Yeah.
Reflex.
Yeah.
Reflex. I have reflexes. Like a cat. Throw it.
22.
Say again?
22.
Okay. So you don't have to roll the second check.
Okay.
So the knife
Wow.
thuds into the middle of the book, just like perfect pinpoint accuracy. And everybody goes, "Yeah!"
She yawns a little bit.
Oh. He does. He wags a finger and he says, "I knew I liked you."
Tangent stands up and goes, "The book."
That's who Tangent bet on.
Yeah. He goes over here. He's like, "Oh, gosh."
Okay. So he goes over, takes the knife out of the dagger out of the book, walks over and hands it back to the guy that he took it from, who opens it and looks at the hole all the way through both sides of the book. And he says, "I think something a little more challenging this time." Then he goes over to this table where they were playing cards. And he says, "Do you mind?" And he grabs a playing card and he walks back over to you. I'm moving tangent for some reason.
Sorry, I'm moving. That's all right.
He goes back to Alexa and says, "Hold it flat against the board, please." Now this is much smaller.
Yeah.
All right.
So after this one, Bless is probably worn off because it's just a minute long duration.
Oh.
Now because this one is a smaller target, I'm going to need you to roll. He throws the blade. I'm going to need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm better at those.
Okay. To not flinch.
Okay. I rolled the same on my dice, but I don't have bless this time, so that will be a dirty 20.
Okay. The blade flies through the air and right in the center of the card, like it was the Ace of Hearts, and it's right in the middle of the heart. And everybody goes, "Yeah, two! And,
Better than a book.
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, did he give the book back? Did he give the book back?
He gave the book back.
Okay,
there's a hole
tangent
through both
goes right
ends.
over to the guy with the book.
Okay. All right. Last throw.
Alexa will pull out a gold coin
Actually,
and set it up against.
I had
the
a
wall.
little something else in mind.
Oh,
Go ahead and put your
you're
coin
no
away.
fun.
Darius tried a sleight of hand check to do something and rolled sent it to you, Jared.
Okay. I don't think I see it.
Online, it said to DM.
Oh, sent to DM? Okay. Why don't you text it to me because I'm looking at
Okay,
at
that's
the
fine.
map.
I can do that.
So, he asks you to put the coin away. Do you?
Yeah, I'll put it away.
He pries out the playing card and doesn't even bother bringing that one back because the card's ruined. He just throws it over his shoulder. It says, "If you'd be so kind as to place your hand against the board and splay your fingers." So just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is how someone lost 3 fingers that one time.
Oh no, that guy lost it on the first throw. They always flinch for some reason, except tonight apparently.
Well, she seems kind of badass, so...
Let's find out. He takes it.
Before he throws,
He's twirling the dagger as he's walking.
Darius is going to have his hands down, kind of crossed in front of him. He's going to, and he did a sleight of hand check to do something. I don't know if anybody wants to try to beat the number that I sent to Jared.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perception
Fleur's standing right next to him, so I'll roll a perception.
Okay.
Oh, natural 1. No, she's locked in.
You're kind of distracted at the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
Alexa.
my passive perception's pretty high though.
Yeah, what's your passive?
17.
Yeah, you would have seen it.
You would have seen it. And so Darius just kind of taps his right gauntlet. And you now have, and he's going to give you advantage on this saving throw.
Oof. Okay,
Okay.
I'll take that.
That's better than Bless, baby. There you go.
Okay. So this time, he twirls, and you hear people saying, "She's got to flinch this time. They always flinch on the third throw. They always flinch on the third." It's like, and then other people are saying, "It's like, no, I think she can do it. I think she can do it. She's got ice water in her veins. Just look at her." and it's back and forth. It's back and forth. And then he says, "And here we go!" And he throws it. All right. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. With advantage, right?
With advantage.
All right. Oh, nice. That'll be a 22.
A 22?
Yeah.
So your heart almost stops a little bit, and you hold your breath, and you see the dagger spinning through the air towards you, getting closer, almost in slow motion, getting closer and closer. And it looks like there's a moment where you can feel yourself almost starting to tremble, and your body is screaming at you to move your hand. And you calm that down. Your experience swallows that, and the blade spins and twists, and then you can feel just barely the tiniest scrape as the flat of the blade passes between your middle finger and your ring finger and thuds into the wood. And everybody goes, yeah! Woo! And they everybody stands up and it says, oh, that was amazing. That was completely amazing. I can't believe it. And even Quinlan is...
Can I pull the knife out and try and toss it, but have it hit hilt first into his like center chest?
You can try.
Yeah. Like obviously trying not like this isn't like an attack to kill in any way.
Sure. This is a non-lethal throw.
Yeah. So just an attack roll.
Yeah. Let me make sure I got my stats up here. Okay, go ahead.
So this would just be like a finesse weapon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have +9 on this.
Okay.
25.
25?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Rolled a 16.
He goes to clap, and then he sees the blade coming at him. With his left hand, like almost reflexively, he goes. You see him like go to like grab it, but instead of grabbing it, his hand comes up. His hand comes up kind of loosely, almost like dangling, and it misses, and the pommel hits him. And when that happens, the bar goes quiet again. And everybody.
Well, it seems like we drink for free.
And and then the Goliath.
What were the odds on her again?
It was 1-1. You won 10 gold.
No.
You had to get that from a noble, but you won it. As soon as that happens and the bar goes quiet, Brute starts storming over like in a rush, like he's going to attack. And then
big fella.
Okay, so Tristan is
ahead.
gonna see that movement. He's gonna grab his axe and he's gonna go up and he's gonna like not with the blade part, but he's gonna like take it and like cut him under his legs with the pommel of the not the.
Oh, he's gonna trip him.
Yeah, he's trying to trip him up.
So he sees you. Quinlan looks over because he hears Brute rushing forward, and he sees you start to go for that, and with a cough he says, "Stop!" And Brute freezes. Nice throw. Well, a bet's a bet. They drink for free tonight, Tam. Then the commoner that you talked to, Adam, from this table here, stands up, walks around, and comes over and says, "I'm so sorry," he says to Quinlan. "I didn't think tonight was going to go this way. They're with me." And Quinlan looks at him and says, "And you are?" And he said, "Name's Kaladin, but I feel partially responsible for this. I invited them here tonight." And Quinlan kind of looks at him and says, "All right." And then the guy who called himself Kaladin goes down, and you see him get up on the stool there, and he leans across it, the bar, and waves Tam over, and you hear him whispering.
Can Fleur hear what's being said?
Well, you guys can roll perception checks. I would say that everybody can roll perception checks except for Alexa. She's a little out of range.
7.
Okay, you don't hear it.
No.
Not for you today.
17.
Nope.
17. Okay.
22.
22. All right, Tristan, you pick up on a few words. You don't get the whole thing, but you pick up on a few words. You hear the word apologies.
Okay.
You hear make it right, and you hear private room.
Okay.
And then Tam leans back. Actually, roll a. No, it's not your best score, but roll a flat intelligence check for me. Just your intelligence modifier.
While that's happening, Fleur kind of leans into Darius and says,
You know, you're really brave. I admire that.
That's a natural 20 for a total of 19.
Really?
"It's awesome."
We just found Cody's dumpster.
That's a Turpin strength check. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Darius will look at Fleur and be like, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Tristan, the word apologies was said by Tam.
Okay.
So then Kaladin leans
What's
up
with all the Kaladins being in these.
and says,
Surely he's a paladin.
if you five don't mind joining me in the private room, please continue the music. And the bards kind of
Yeah, do that song that you guys do so well.
yeah. Freebird.
It's really growing on me.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. All right. So then he waits for you all to follow him.
As I'm walking away, I said, I'll take another glass of that moonshine.
And then Tabby pours it and brings it over and sets it on the bar and says, on us.
We'll pick it up and carry it.
Tension has the book and he casts mending on it.
Oh, okay.
And
There you go.
he just says back. He said, "Here's the book back. I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
The
oh, thank
the
you.
pages.
It was a first edition.
Well, the pages are. I could only fix the cover today, so maybe tomorrow I can fix the pages. So just
Could you?
It's a cast mending on each page.
yeah. I get it.
Jeff understood the assignment.
So anyway,
That sounds like a new life's work.
Right.
we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Here, I will come over. I'll come over and I'll place my hand on the book too, and I'll fix the first page after the cover. So this is my contribution. Yes.
See, look, it says it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
And now you may read it.
now I got to just find that card that was ripped. Where does that go?
So
anyway,
once the music kicks back in,
okay.
This Kaladin guy looks and says, would you care to join me?
Seems like that's why we're here.
Right this way. And he leads you to this end of the bar, to these double doors.
Are we supposed to go with him? All right, let's go.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, he walks very fast.
Yeah, Fleur looks at the bards on the way and she goes,
You guys are really good. Seriously.
On the way there,
We get it.
On the way there, Darius will look at Alexa and be like, "No, that was good. That was impressive."
Thanks for your help.
So he opens the door.
Fleur does stop though, and she like looks back towards Tristan at the bar.
Oh, he's still there?
Do you mean Tristan? Tristan's is he not coming? Is Tristan not coming?
Tristan still doesn't know if this is a trap or not. Like
Fleur's gonna come up to Tristan.
Okay.
Oh no!
I'll be right there, you guys. She kind of weaves through and walks up and says, so I can't help but notice that you were kind of involved in some of that too. Are you coming?
I don't know. I think it might be a trap.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is it because of the doors being closed back there? You can't get to the exit fast enough?
Something like that.
Okay. Well, would you like to sit with me? I'll help keep you safe if something goes wrong, and I'll help you get out of here.
He reaches over and he grabs the axe, and he's like, pretty sure I can keep myself safe.
You're right. You're very right. You look very strong. I just wanted to let you know that I see that you are very strong, and I just think that, I don't know, you might belong here. Like you have something important that you could bring.
I don't think so. I'm nobody.
She looks at the ale and kind of takes it and from you, takes your ale and brings it over the bar and dumps it out over the other side and sits it back down and says, glasses can only spill what they contain. You have a lot of strength in you, and I think we're going to need that strength. So if it's no love lost, I really would like you to come with us.
I suppose you could watch my back.
Okay, you
Tristan.
go first then.
So he's gonna grab his axe and he's gonna start walking.
As you stand, you hear a voice in your head. That's not your voice. And it says, I understand your hesitation. You have no reason to trust me. But you're going to want to hear what I have to say.
Do I recognize this voice?
Never heard it before.
Okay. So he's still looking around very warily at everybody, everything, the surroundings.
And then
he starts walking towards the
and when your eyes meet
rest of the group.
The Kaladin guy, he winks at you.
Tristan's look gets more stony and fierce, and he doubles his grip on the axe.
And then he hears Fleur leaning over the bar. I'm sorry about the mess that I made. Can I get 2 more of these? I'm just going to.
Yeah, just please leave. Yeah.
Takes a smell and goes, oh, I'm sorry. These are supposed to be Storm Singer. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you know what? Here. And she gives you 6 Storm Singer ales.
Sir, Mr. Dwarf, sir, I can't carry all of these.
Oh,
she gave me 6. Oh. I asked for 2.
So he leads you to these doors. These doors, they're double doors. They're wooden. And they are carved intricately to look like facing each other. These are 9-foot tall doors, curved at the top, and each door has a relief in it, and the relief is a rampant rearing wolf with vines and roses entwining it, and they're facing each other. And he doesn't unlock the door. He just reaches forward and he twists the handle, and goes inside, revealing the room beyond.
Before we go in, I'll lean over to the party and say, "Hey, do you guys know that catchy Cantina tune? It goes like, dun, 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 dun."
All right. We're hitting copyright there. Careful. All right.
They're careful. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Why would they
see-
put? Why would they put
Whoa.
the reveal all button right there?
Oh,
That's okay. It didn't show you
do
anything.
you realize
Missed it.
how good this is for my heart right now, Jerry?
Why would they put that there? Actually, you know what? We can just hit reveal all.
There you go. There you go. That's
All
a
right.
real DM moment right there,
There you
baby.
go.
There you
I
go.
love you. I love you.
I'm going to
baby.
put
You're
it
doing
right
great.
where you're trying to erase.
I'm going to
Right?
use the bathroom. Here, excuse me. I see them now.
Yeah. Oh, there's the bathroom.
Yeah.
Several of them.
All right, we'll focus.
Wait,
in
is
on
that
this
where
one.
Quinlan
Right.
was? The bathroom before?
Yeah, that's right.
So he comes in and takes a position here, letting you all come in behind.
Fleur
in
is
behind
towards the
him.
back, and she is there intentionally following after Tristan. And after he goes in, she kind of takes a second, holding all 6 of those ales, and she looks back, almost this smile on her face, and her eyes rest on Quinlan, and her gaze kind of, she becomes a little more stoic in her look, and then she turns and then walks into the room, sets the ales down, and then goes to close the doors.
So inside is a wide and fine maple top dining table with 14 seats. Set into the western wall is a river stone fireplace. Above the hearth, set upon iron hangers, is a broad, double-bladed great axe of silvery metal. Carved into one of the axe blades is a crude, circular smiley face. Below the axe is the plaque with the following words engraved in common: never forget. There are also several more objects on the mantle directly below the axe. Directly below the axe, there is an ornate and ancient-looking lute decorated with golden filigree, a tattered, burned, and blood-stained grimoire, its cover emblazoned with a rising phoenix, a holy symbol, wrought in silver, hanging from a plain wooden stand, a shimmering and iridescent bronze scale the size of a maple leaf, and finally, on its own stand, a black-hilted dagger displayed point down. But that's not the thing you notice first as you enter the room. I'm going to put you guys in there. Actually, the first thing you notice as you enter the room, let's see, it would be this one, is warming itself next to the fire, curled in a ball, is a dire wolf.
Would not be sitting there.
Yeah, you would not be sitting there. Not if you want to keep your face. But as you walk in, the wolf's yellow eyes leap open and watch as you enter. And they follow you as you enter the room, but the rest of the wolf remains unmoving.
Alexa
door-
drags the chair all the way into the corner,
Okay.
just as a point. It makes like this scraping noise along the floor.
So as you do, Kaladin says, "Oh, I wouldn't worry, love. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure she's housebroken."
Fleur actually kind of approaches and leans down and says, "Hi, it's been a long time."
And then the wolf leans up, smells at Fleur's face, and then gives a big lick.
Oh,
Yeah, it's you.
Then you see apologies, and he waves his hand, and the doors shut. So here's what I need.
Oh, this makes more
Everybody to
sense
roll
now.
No,
Oh gosh,
here's what I need.
We would be murdered.
He's done it to us before.
Big trouble.
Here's what I need. I need Tangent. Let's see. Yeah, it would just be Tangent to roll an Arcana check.
18.
18. You were sensing a very strong and concrete magical sense in this room.
In the air, in the...
It's permeating this whole space. You're not quite sure what it is, but it's like you walked into a walk-in freezer. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cold and threatening. It's just like it's not uncomfortable, but there is a difference in environment.
Tingle
in this room.
Is it? Could I speak to Kaladin? I said, "Boy, this room is something. I'm detecting something in this room that's very magical about it. It is very. I've been in rooms like this, but one time I got locked in a room and it was bad. So, but
he smiles while you're talking.
Yeah,
just like letting you ramble.
Okay, but can you give us any insight to that? What's going on here?
That would probably be the private sanctum spell.
Ah. Excellent. I've heard about that spell. That's excellent. That's a very secure spell.
It's actually permanent in here.
You know how long that takes? Permanent, of course, a long word. It means a long time.
A year.
Forever, really. But, that's only theoretical, because if the room disappears, what are you going to do? But anyway, so...
He just lets you go.
Okay. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate the clarification. And where's my backpack?
It's on your back.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I got it.
He said, "Turn around." Where?
Alexa holds it up for him. He hands it over to him.
The other. Yeah, my hammer. Thank you.
Okay. Do any of you look at the things on the mantle, or anything else?
Are we allowed to?
They're on display.
Yeah, like Alexa's taking in the entire room. She's heard rumors. Things are starting to click in her head of what might actually be going on here, but she's not going to say anything right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you pay any do you want to look at anything like specifically on the mantle, or just kind of taking the whole thing in?
Kind of the whole thing. She notes essentially the legendary iconography and what they potentially might be representing here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Tangent's gonna go over to the axe and look at it. He says, Kaladin, is this was the axe of Wreck, was it not?
Yes.
Oh, what a sad story. He was somebody. I just think so many people were wrong about Wreck. I think he was a very good guy. So
you hear the wolf give like a chuff, like a
in a bad, like a disgust
like
at
a
me,
good
or
way, like
a good way. Oh, does that wolf?
Like, I mean, wolves can't say yes, but you feel like that one just did.
Okay, good. Does that wolf have a cold? I'm kind of staying back away from it, but
no, she just knows what it is you are saying.
Wow. Yes, I have. That is remarkable. And you were speaking to it earlier. That's really incredible. Yeah, I've had some speaking animals sometimes, and boy, that is something different. It's like, how do they get their lips to move? I don't know.
He laughs, and then he looks over and he sees Alexa scanning the things on the mantle. And when your eyes land on the dagger, he says, "That's not the original, you know."
I don't believe half the things that any of these weapons supposedly did. So,
fair enough.
Is there anything from Domingo here?
Oh yeah, the scale.
The scale. What was the scale used for? I'm not aware of that.
Oh, it's a souvenir he collected from
You're kidding.
a wise and powerful friend.
Whoa, that is amazing. What does it have any powers?
It's really tough.
A tough scale. I'm not sure what that means, but wow, that is really cool. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that.
Well, I think the time of the evening has come for us to put aside all pretenses and just kind of, well, perhaps lay it all out.
Tell us who you are.
That'd be nice.
Tristan
Tell me what you've
said,
got.
Then,
Tristan Granson says it's about time.
I know. Are we getting the Lindo now? Whoa.
the air
Whoa.
shifts around him. There's a subtle transformation, and then standing before you is a tall, very tall, 6'4" at least. Not heavy set, but broad-shouldered, filled, almost barrel-chested in a way. Older man, probably by looking at him in his early 60s, with flowing, lustrous white hair and beard that you can tell is still has hints of gold and yellow at the scalp and at the edges, and piercing, shimmering blue eyes. And then he says, through a toothy smile, Fenwick Thorne, headmaster at Brunorth's Academy of the Arcane, at your service. And that's where we're going to take a break.
All right. I gotta go tell Caleb.
Yes.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment after our bellies are full and our bladders are empty. Everybody, welcome back to Shadows at Twilight. We are very, very thankful for you sticking around with us through that break while we took care of some of our own personal bathroom needs. Anyway,
Hope you enjoyed all those ads from our sponsors we so totally have.
Exactly, yeah. Mutual of Omaha. I don't know why I think that's funny, but I do. But I think it is.
Every time.
Okay, but jumping back in.
That's why.
So it has just been revealed that your patron for this evening, the one who has invited all 5 of you here for an evening at drinks at Pastures, is none other than the legendary Diamond Dog, Fenwick Thorne, who has just revealed himself in this room. So we're going to go ahead and switch back over to our map.
You see Tangent raise his hand.
He looks up and says, "Do you have a question?"
There's one thing I just really want to know.
Uh-huh.
How is Domingo?
You see his expression shift. And he puts on, his face changes from amused to not sorrowful, but wistful. And he breaks eye contact with you and looks down and says, "Unfortunately, I don't know."
Oh no.
No one has seen hide nor hair of Domingo in the last 30 years.
Oh.
I'm sure he's fine, but...
Okay, sorry. I don't want to be a downer. Sometimes when you ask the wrong question, it's like, man.
No, it's fine.
It's like
In fact, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get this whole, legend business out of the way. You probably have more questions. Go ahead.
about Domingo. I have a lot.
It can be about Domingo if you want to ask. I can't claim to be an expert in that, but
Well, when he held his sword, was he right-handed or left-handed? Because I only met him once, and it was like I was really young.
interestingly enough, he was ambidextrous.
That
He
figures.
was ambidextrous. I'm trying not to talk about him in the
Okay.
past tense.
Okay.
You met Domingo?
It was some years ago. Yeah, many years ago. Yeah, it was just like around a campfire or something. He was talking to, but I was young, so it was like, man. But it's like, wow, he was so cool. He was fast. He's a lot faster than I am, but I'm faster than he was
Can
now.
we get to the subject?
Okay,
at
sorry.
hand?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
My fault.
I would be happy to talk to you about Domingo later on if you wish.
Oh, did you know about Domingo?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
I know some of the stories. Just later.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. I feel like there's a lot of things to talk about later. Phew, that's everything.
So then you hear Tristan, and he kind of grunts, and he goes, "I want to know. Do you know Gregor Boulderblood?"
You see him laugh, and he says, "Actually, no. I've never had the pleasure. I have, however, though, met Queen Armora on more than one occasion, actually."
Who's Queen Armora?
She's the queen of Dur-Ramath.
So at that point, when Tristan hears that, he's you see a couple of emotions go over his face. It goes from relief to confusion, and then he gets kind of quiet because you can tell he's trying to put pieces together. This isn't at all what he thought it was.
Mhm.
Finding out that information.
So, Fenwick, you had a job for us.
Oh, is the question phase is over?
I would like for it to be over.
Whoa.
All right. Yes.
Unless if anyone else has any other one, I just don't want to be here for that long.
It's just, how often are you in the room with a legend?
If you guys actually did half the things that you are said that you guys had done, there's no way you even survived. So.
Also,
he laughs out loud. He says, often we didn't.
One thing that you notice
Darius
also
actually
about,
chuckles at that.
Also, one thing you notice about Tristan is that he's not in awe of this guy. He's not really. There's no awareness because Tristan, you can tell he's been living under a rock for a long time.
Legend, cool. Never heard of you.
He's heard of him, but only in passing, very vague whispers.
Tangent raises his hand again.
Yes. You don't have to raise your hand, Tangent. You can just ask.
Oh, I know. I have a cramp. I was just. I was wondering if you ever been to the Feywild.
Yes, on more than one occasion.
How do you get the sand out of your butt?
Oh,
from the Feywild, because it's just like it gets in there and it just like.
Alexa just puts her head into her face.
You know what I find it particularly academically and philosophically interesting isn't even really sand.
Blur stands up and brings over one of the 6 ales that they were poured and kind of gives it to her and says, "Here."
Can I get one of those too?
And then all of a sudden, they're talking, like immediately, Fenwick and Tangent both go into almost like conversational tennis back and forth about the Feywild and the vagaries of it and the insides and outs of it.
Alexa will pipe up then. It's like, fine. I have a question.
Oh, all right.
She wasn't necessarily a member of the Diamond Dogs, but what happened to Val?
Val.
Oh, I do.
surprised you know that name. Val survived, but not without a great deal of regrets and demons of her own.
At the question, Fleur goes over to the wolf and just begins to pet her.
Yeah. So he's in the process of answering that, and he's like you get the sense that he picked up on the annoyance in your voice. He's just ignoring it. And then until finally, the dire wolf in the corner goes woof, and just like barks real loud, and he says, all right, please forgive me. It's I'm just very excited about what this could potentially turn out to be. Alexa, you are correct. I do have a particular job for you. I am going to switch things up a little bit. Before I tell you what the actual job is, I'm going to start off by telling what the job gets you, what it pays. Because frankly, when I remember my days as an adventurer, people in my position always kept burying the lead, and they would tell you about, the world ending that, return of an ancient evil this, and then they don't actually tell you the incentive of why you would actually want to save anyone. So why don't we start there? Tristan, you look particularly perturbed.
I just want to know what's going on.
Well, why don't you do me a favor and read this? And he reaches into his robes, and he pulls out a folded piece of parchment, and he slides it across the table to you.
So I pick it, Tristan picks it up and opens it up.
It's written in Dwarvish.
Okay.
And
he's going to read it to himself. He's not going to read it out loud.
No. Oh, hey.
I'm in, and he leaves. No.
Done and done, and he slams it out and walks it.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm sending you
Okay.
what it is. He's patient. He's like leaning on the table doing this, waiting for you to read it.
Not sure that this is going to be completely valid, but I'm willing to listen.
I thought you might be.
Spill the beans, Scarface.
I'm not quite done yet. Hold on. All in good time. Darius. It's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been seeking allies and means to go to Keshmidia?
Yes.
What if I could not only get you those allies, what if I could get you there in a blink of an eye?
Sounds good to me. Depends on the allies.
Fair point. And then he looks to Tangent. Tangent, I understand that you like to travel a great deal, and
Traveling is great. Traveling is so much fun. I've traveled quite a bit, and sometimes, you end up traveling more than you think you're going to end up going the other direction. I went to...
How would you like to be a field sage for Brunorth's Academy of the Arcane?
Field Sage. What is... Yes, I think that sounds like...
It means you get to travel as much as you want, and we pay for it.
That's not so bad. If I, the pay just really doesn't matter, but if I get to travel and I guess I have to pay for some things. Sometimes you don't pay because people pay you for stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes you just barter.
Fleur's like stops when she does that and then goes right back to petting her.
Oh, and here's the last one. And he looks to Alexa. I understand you had a bit of trouble recently. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. And he reaches into his robe, pulls out a coin purse, and tosses it across to you.
Good catch.
You feel the weight?
Mm-hmm.
Weight feels right.
Okay.
But I understand you had a bit of trouble recently.
Are you going to tell me that you can make it go away?
Well, not only can I make it go away, I can make it go away forever.
Yeah. She looks very interested and very hungry by that prospect. Like,
Free and clear. No debt. No repercussions. They will leave you alone. I've already spoken to someone in a position to make a decision like that. And if you agree to help me, they agree to help you.
I know I already said deal, but is there any guarantees of that?
He reaches into his robes. And he throws another piece of paper across to you. It is, do you want me to text it or you want me to say it?
You can text it to me.
Okay. All right.
She'll spend the next minute or so reading it, or however long. Oh.
Yeah, Fleur is still over, just sitting in the corner with the large wolf. And she kind of seems unfazed by all of this. You can notice a bit of a demeanor shift in her. She's not the chatty Kathy that she was in the bar room. You get the feeling she's much more observant in here, patient, quiet, waiting, listening, and observing. It's a very, very different Fleur than what she was out in the rest of the room.
Mr. Thorne, if I can call you that.
Please, go ahead.
Question that comes to my mind is why the strings? Like, if you can do all this stuff, why not just do it? You guys are legends and legendary heroes and travel a bunch anyway and seem to be problem solvers. Why not just do it? Why bring us in here and dangle something in front of us?
I might be speaking for you, Fenwick, but sometimes the legendary heroes bring attention.
Oh, you died.
Nope. You cut out a little bit.
Cut out.
Ah!
It seems better now. I think it was just the way you were.
Yeah,
angling
I
your
was
face.
probably running away from my microphone.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. You're good.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, Master Fenwick. But
Just
sometimes
Fenwick is fine.
those legendary heroes tend to draw too much attention to their actions and movements.
Or they're otherwise engaged. Well, I suppose we should just go ahead and get to it then.
Fleur will then stand up and come back to the table and sit next to Tristan.
So he says, well, I suppose there's no getting around it, and just have to go ahead and tell you why you're here. Have any of you heard the name Calzin Morduar?
Have I?
Well, anybody who is proficient in it can roll a history check.
Nope.
Because this one's a little niche.
I am not.
Can't say as I am either.
Okay.
I was not
guessing the other
schooled.
two. Unsurprising. You see, Cal, well, he's an old friend. And something of a diamond dog himself. We met Cal when we first arrived as a group in Bannockburg. Now, you guys have all heard the name Bannockburg. Even Tristan has heard that. Actually, let's do this. So, Bannockburg, for those of you who don't know, Bannockburg is one of Brendan's really, really cool city creations. Mm-hmm. That is a near-surface drow city.
The map took me like 3 days to make.
And it was it is on the other side of this kind of top peninsula of Karis, to the west of Denarental, where we are now. And it is a city, a massive city of about 500,000 people, all contained singularly in a titanic, straight huge seaside cavern. So think like the biggest cave system you've ever seen turned up to the nines. And it's a huge, beautiful city, kind of a center of culture and trade, primarily drow, but not only drow. I'm going to ask everybody at the table to roll, even if you're not proficient, to roll a history check.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Except for Tristan, actually. Let's leave Tristan out of this one.
Well, it's not going to be great anyway.
Okay.
Neither was mine.
History.
So what scores did you guys?
-1. So even if I get a 20, I rolled an 11.
You did better than me. I rolled a 7.
Okay. So not Darius.
17.
17. Okay.
17 here.
Tangent and
18.
Okay. So Tangent, Alexa, and Fleur made the check. The most significant thing about Bannockburg that the three of you know is that 30 years ago, during the adventures of the Diamond Dogs, Bannockburg was overthrown by a group called the Porcelain Order. And they took control of the city. And in the fight to reclaim the city and defeat the Porcelain Order, the Diamond Dogs left. And after they left the city in shambles, something happened. A titanic upheaval came from beneath the city. And it was revealed that Bannockburg, the city of Bannockburg, thought to be a self-contained, almost nation, was actually only the top crust of a much bigger, much more powerful, Underdark drow nation that reclaimed it, that was there all along in secret. And they decided to come out of the shadows and take it back. And the rumors were that they did so with not only legions of drow and incredible magics typically not seen in Wildaria, but also with tunneling done by purple worms. After taking the city, they expelled all non-drow, or enslaved all non-drow, and then shut their gates. So Fenwick continues. Cal was a good friend to have, seeing as how he himself was a fairly high-ranking drow noble. Not to mention the finest hand with a blade I've ever seen. In the fall of Bannockburg, Cal was forced to flee. And flee he did. First to here, and in Arental. And then later, into the Empire. And he seems to hesitate for a second. And he looks across at the wolf. And the wolf looks back at him. And then the wolf gives a single nod. Like permission almost. And he takes a deep breath and in for a penny, in for a pound. He then fled to the Empire with Mardigan, who he has been living and working with, and his thorns. And he looks at Alexa when he says that.
He visibly stiffens.
Ever since. Two months ago, in Ostour, a raiding party of drow broke into the Wellspring Orphanage, infiltrating it. And kidnapping Calzin. They were kind enough. Say again?
Only Calzin?
Only Calzin. They poisoned a few, but non-lethally. Subdued some others, but left them unharmed otherwise. And then they had the common courtesy to leave a note telling us that what they did, according to their laws, was not kidnapping, but instead arresting and returning a fugitive from justice. They then returned to Anlurin, to Bannockburg. I have brought the five of you here tonight to ask you to infiltrate Bannockburg, or even perhaps the city beneath Bannockburg, and save my friend. That's what I want you to do. But what I need you to do, what we all need you to do for that matter, is to find out what is causing the drow to move now. Anlurin and Bannockburg, by extension, have been silent for 30 years. The drow seemed perfectly content to stay in their cavern and let the world pass them by. But for the last few years, there have been stirrings, incursions, More and more drow sighted on the surface. Something is driving the drow to the surface. And my fear, along with others in the know, is that war is coming. Specifically war between Talea and Anlurin. I don't expect you to know the nuances of geopolitics. Personally, I find them horribly boring. But I cannot begin to tell you what would happen if an open war between the Drow and Talea were to take place. It wouldn't mean war in Karis. Keshmidia would seize opportunity. The Drow are slavers almost without equal. And he looks at Darius when he says that.
Darius looks pretty hard at him back.
And seeing as how they are, I already know they have trade agreements with just Keshmidia for the flesh trade. If Anlurin went to war, Keshmidia would be behind them. Talea would need allies to fight back, drawing other nations in from outside of Karis. It would be a continent at war. Millions could die. That is why I need the 5 of you to do this.
What makes you think it's more than just the Drow's ambition? Because they are very ambitious. What can you give us? You said those. You seem to imply that there's other people that know things, and I know there's some things that people know more things than other things, and they learn other things. So there's a lot of things. So, what makes you think there's something driving them out? Is it?
They've been quiet too long. And now more and more of them are being spotted. I believe that the Drow are searching for a stronger foothold on the surface. And for a Drow to flee to the surface, something must be chasing them. I have no idea what. I can see to nearly all corners of Wildaria now. But the Underdark is still very much a mystery. There's no telling what's down there. Or maybe I'm wrong. And maybe they decide that that the subterranean world isn't enough and they want the daylight one. Specifically, it has to do, Tangent, with who they took and why they took him. They don't care about Cal.
They needed a casus belli.
Come again?
An excuse to start a war.
Cal.
I get that. What did she say?
The fancy word for that.
Oh, okay.
They don't want Cal. Cal's nobody to them. We thought initially he was a high-ranking noble. Turns out, when Bannockburg was revealed to be simply the surface crust of a much deeper empire, the nobles there were nothing more than guardians at the gate. They don't care about Cal or his supposed crimes that they are trumping up. The problem is that Cal is a diamond dog in all but name only. They took Cal because they knew that it would cause a response from us. They're trying to draw us in. And if the Diamond Dogs get involved, Talea's involved. And if Talea's involved, nations are involved.
So you're sending us into a suspected trap.
Oh, I don't think it's suspected at all.
I'm sending you in. I'm sending you in to stop something I do not have the power to stop myself. Even if we wanted to, we couldn't.
So you don't want to? Is that what you're saying?
No. I want Cal saved,
Yeah.
but I don't want to go to war.
I will go.
Well, I don't believe this, and actually, I'm ready to go. This sounds great to me. But what if somebody says, "Hey, it's just one man. Is it worth saving one man for it to save a war? Why not just let him keep him?"
I think it sounds like it's bigger than that tangent.
Well, if we don't, go on. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
If a man were to be walking along the beach and find creatures washed up on the shore who were not yet dead and begin throwing them back, and someone were to ask them, "Why, you're never going to save them all," what is better for him to do? To reach down, grab one more of these creatures and throw it back, or to walk away? Because it would make a difference for that one.
Hey, I think it's a really good answer. That's a really good. I can remember that story. Could you write that one down for me? Because I think that's a very.
We can talk later.
Okay.
So Darius looks at Fenwick real hard and says, "So you can promise allies to back me up to go where I want to go? Good allies, powerful allies, like I'm explain or expand."
Powerful allies indeed. And he turns and he looks at Fleur.
Just kind of looks kind of confused back and forth between the two.
It's Kashmidia, they better be.
The best.
Well,
why
at
us?
this point,
Why us? Why us? Why us?
Well,
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, we talked too much.
well,
no, I'm kind of curious too.
It's because Darius here.
Tristan, at that,
Mm-hmm.
Tristan slams his hand on the table and he says, "What is it that you possibly think that I can bring to this? I am absolutely nobody."
Tristan, I think that anyone who manages to kill a young dragon by himself is more than capable of handling this situation.
Darius kind of turns to look sideways at him a little bit.
And Darius, I think anyone who can overthrow a stone giant city and free their slaves, including himself, is more than capable of pursuing answers in the deep.
I ain't kill her.
Alexa will stand up and walk back over towards the table. And they'll stop hunting me during this contract? For now?
She gave her word. And I've learned to trust her word.
Who's her? If I may ask. A lot of hers are in this room. A couple of hers in this room, actually. So
Only 2.
maybe 3. I'm not sure about the. Well, I don't know.
Yes, she is the girl.
I thought so. Okay. So 3.
I can explain that later, but
Oh, okay. Sorry, no problem.
yep.
That's not my secret to tell.
Get that. Secrets are good. Thank you.
So save this drow noble. Figure out why the drow are mobilizing. Prevent a war.
I want to be clear. I don't expect you to completely, just the 5 of you, completely avert a war that I frankly think is somewhat inevitable. But we're not ready. That's why they're doing this. In a sense, we're lucky. They happen to strike at a time. And he pauses again. Hesitates. And again the wolf. Mardigan is not in Wildaria.
My understanding was he's dead.
That would make him very happy to hear that.
Popular opinion, anyway.
Ghosts don't die.
I heard he's not. I don't think he's dead. I guess that makes sense.
Well, I can tell you he's definitely not.
Not dead is better. So,
Yeah.
I know. He looks at the wolf. And then
she might as well speak for herself at this point.
Well, it's funny you say that, because as soon as you do, there's another shifting of the air, and in place of the wolf, exactly where the wolf was standing, the shape reforms, not in a painful way, almost in like, for Tangent, you would assume it's like it something akin to almost a polymorph.
Mm-hmm.
And then reforming into a tall, beautiful, ivory-skinned, red-haired woman in late middle age.
Alexa just sighs and says, "You all are so dramatic."
And says, so cool. It's about time somebody asked if I could just go ahead and join the conversation.
Sorry, Blair, I wasn't trying to exclude
all right,
you.
love.
I know you like your ways.
See, now that actually kind of makes sense, but the question still stands. Didn't she lick you?
Yeah. Blair's the one who found me.
Ooh. Oh, okay. There's history there.
So you say that, and Fenwick goes, okay, I guess we're just saying everything out loud now.
Yeah, who's Blair? Nice to meet you, Blair. That is amazing. Can you turn into other things besides a wolf? Because that is really cool.
Yes. Thank you. It's nice to meet you, Fenwick. Who am I, Fenwick? Says who? Nice to meet you, Tangent.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly who am I, Fenwick? Sorry. I have a lot on my mind right now. Gentleman, lady, my wife, Blair.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I did all right.
I missed the invitation.
Let's admit the invitation.
Well, Mr. Thorne, at this point, Darius actually pulls his axe out of the circle that's on his belt, and kind of throws it over his shoulder, and you get a real kind of first look at this. It's unique.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we share a picture in the chat or what, but I can. And he throws it over his shoulder.
Go ahead and roll. If you are proficient in perception, roll perception. If you are proficient in medicine, roll medicine instead.
My first really bad roll.
Okay.
Natural 13 plus
Yeah,
9, 22.
12
Nice.
for me.
All right.
So I dropped the picture in chat.
Fleur,
Yeah, that's dope.
Feel free to describe it.
this looks like a battle axe,
A
but
wrought iron
where the
with a
blade
tooth.
where the blade would normally be, it's a blade shape, but it looks like it was fashioned out of a particularly huge jawbone.
Interesting. Oh yeah.
In fact, it still has teeth on the inside curve.
So Darius takes this axe, throws it over his shoulder. He says, "My old pappy used to tell me, dance with the one that brought you. You brought us here. Let's dance."
I love dancing. That is awesome.
Metaphorical.
Oh,
You
So
happen to be coming with us, Mr. Thorne?
No, I'm afraid I have to sit this one out. You should know before you assent, there is a strong possibility that you don't come back from this.
Well,
No one who's
recruitment
gone
for-
into Bannockburg has come out in 30 years.
yeah, well, recruitment for people to go to Kashmidia voluntarily has been kind of light. So, if this will help, I'm in.
hey, death is just another adventure, right?
You want to call it that?
Fleur, this is the first time Fleur really smiles during the whole conversation, is after that sentence.
Tristan, the only thing missing from that document is the Queen's signature. And she has promised to sign it upon your return, should you accept.
He looks down at the table, thinking and really, really pondering. And he looks up and he says, "I'm not afraid of death. But I'm ready to go home. So I'm in."
Alexa?
Well, I'm dead if I do and dead if I don't.
Well, if I can push you in either direction, I already know who they were planning on sending after you next, and you might survive this. And then he leans forward. You wouldn't survive her.
I'm in.
Sounds like you've got a party, Mr. Thorne.
Excellent. A couple of things before I direct you to the rest of my planned evening. You are going to need some things. Blair, where did I put the... You see Blair go, I swear, he'd lose his head if it wasn't screwed on. She reaches into her pouch and pulls out a black handkerchief. And he says, yes, thank you. And she hands it to him. And he passes it along and says, you're going to have to decide who gets this, but it's a portable hole. Came in handy back in the day.
Which really seems like a contradiction, because I've tried holes and you just can't move them.
There's actually, if you want to go ahead and try it, there's actually something in there for you all.
Ooh.
Alexa will take it and like string it up to where it's like hanging
So it's
essentially
like
on the wall.
Yeah, it's like a black handkerchief, and as Alexa starts like unfolding it, it just like keeps unfolding and unfolding and unfolding until it is this rather large diameter circle, perfect circle hole that is black. It's like black in like in the middle of the table, and you can reach down inside of it. I'm assuming who does that?
Well, if she opens it up, I guess Darius will reach inside.
So you reach around inside until you feel like a group of what feel like chains, like thin chains.
Okay, pull them out.
You pull it out, and they are 5 necklaces, each with a small, what looks to be sapphire pendant. And Fenwick reaches over and takes one and says, Fleur, dear, if you wouldn't mind demonstrating. And he hands you the pendant.
She just puts it on and
Now, tap the gem twice.
tap, tap.
You see Fleur's appearance shift, morph, and change, and standing in her place is a drow female.
That's a neat trick right there.
Yeah, it's actually
All of a
quite
sudden,
difficult to
you
figure
start
it out.
hear you hear a voice, but it begins to speak in Undercommon.
Oh.
And a bit of kit. I mean,
Did
you
speak
could always
that?
pose as slaves, but I mean that would kind of be difficult to escape from. So I thought this might be easier.
Now, Fleur, are you speaking that because of the necklace, or do you speak that anyway?
She taps the necklace twice again.
Yeah.
And continues to speak in Undercommon.
Dang it, Fleur. They were really impressed there for a minute.
I like this one.
That's cool.
You might actually be surprised what a slave can get away with.
That's an option. I'm just giving you some more. The spell lasts for 8 hours a tap.
How long to recharge?
So would I no longer be able to do it again?
No, you can do it again.
You know that.
Those were quite expensive. Be careful with them.
It's even comes in my color.
Absolument. Thank you. Merci.
There's one last thing. You all seem to be well kitted out, but just in case there's anything you need. If you exit pastures and you go across the courtyard to the other side, you'll find a sign for a shop called A Dream Realized. Normally they're closed by now, but I've managed to talk the proprietor into, setting up a tab. And he's willing to outfit you some more.
A tab on the Diamond Dogs. Okay.
Within reason.
Well,
What kind of stuff could we get there? I mean, you're thinking like
Weapons,
jelly?
armor,
Oh, that kind of stuff. Okay.
other things.
Any healing stuff?
nice.
Because sometimes I'm a little squishy. You know what I mean?
Check the hole again.
Oh, check the hole again.
He'll kind of.
It was still open.
Yeah.
Fleur pulls her cloak aside and brings up a lantern, and this lantern looks ghastly,
Oh, no.
like wrought iron and this greenish,
Yeah, Blair sees that.
sickly
and goes-
glow.
Blair sees that and he goes and says, "Saints preserve us. What is that?"
Oh, so sorry.
Hey, I'm Irish now.
Well, then
I
this
just wanted
will
to say
only
Saints preserve us. I'm sorry.
this
for
will
that.
only take a
Some of
minute.
this.
I'm so sorry. And she kind of leans down to the lantern. She goes,
All right, Henri, you can come out for just a second.
And all of a sudden, this like wisp of a ghostly green hand begins to come out.
She says, I need you to go in there and pull out the potions. And if you find any diamonds, please.
I don't want to.
I know, but you need to go and do this. This is what
Let
she wants.
me go.
You have not fulfilled your redemption arc yet, so no. I'm sorry, no. You need to go in there and you need to pull them out and bring them
This
to
is
me.
infuriating.
Yes, I
It's
know,
called
but
the
you're
prologue.
being
I'm not the only one seeing this, right?
You're being such a
you're
good
saying
boy
it.
now, please.
Okay, I'm not the only one, right?
So the hand goes down into the hole, and it comes out with a backpack. And in the backpack are 10 regular potions of healing
Nice.
and 5 greater potions of healing. It's really handy when your patron is super loaded
Yeah, and
Right.
a wizard himself.
and can make stuff.
Yeah.
He's had a month to prepare for this, so.
Who wants to be in charge of managing the group's inventory?
Something like this, we can just get 2 regulars each and 1 greater each.
Yep. Everybody gets 2 regular and 1 greater.
Here, I know that, I mean, it might just be good if everybody has some access to these.
Mm-hmm.
I will obviously help make sure we don't need to use them often, but if there were to be an emergency.
Just know that the portable hole isn't just there to give you these things. You can take that with you in case you need to get something out.
Tristan's gonna take his portion and he's gonna put him in his own satchel.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see Alexa open up a small pouch on kind of her waist, and will disappear inside.
Okay.
Darius just has a backpack.
As she does that, she also pulls out a really long rifle. Says, do you have anyone that can service these?
You should go to a dream realized. Just, he gets crankier as the later it gets. Just,
Understood.
he means well. And
Sounds
Okay.
like a plan to me.
all right.
Who's
So
ready to go shopping?
He answers some more questions from Tangent.
Yeah.
You get to talk.
question.
You get to talk to Blair for a minute longer. Then he invites you all to leave the room, but asks Fleur to stay behind. All right, so waiting there in the common room, Fleur comes out and rejoins the group, and you
Hi, everyone.
guys are
Bring out the dude
kind
in the
of
bag.
on your own.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not. You don't see the lantern anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, that's tucked back into the cloak.
Okay.
There you go.
Good.
So who wants to go shopping?
Oh, I love
on the
shopping.
Diamond Dogs tab.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That sounds great to me.
Should we get like matching shoes or something?
So it's been by this
Team?
point. You were in there a while
No.
talking to Fenwick, so it's probably getting around ninth bell, like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we should probably hurry before this cranky manager
The bathrooms here are nice, so just wanted to let you know.
Sure.
Bathrooms?
They are. Everything's nice and patchy.
Yeah, indoor plumbing is not found everywhere. Believe me, I have traveled. I know.
Do you think they asked the mason to
That is
organize
true.
that? Or?
It's the Flushing family.
We're going to create all the lore and backstory for this character.
Right?
They started to contract out the porcelain order to work on the bathroom.
That's right.
That
was their punishment, right?
Changed their mind.
Yeah.
They wanted to be on thrones. Well, here you go.
Yeah. Purge your problems. All right, so on to a dream realized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you exit pastures, you walk through, and you go.
Fleur, at the end, Fleur turns like the last one out and says, "Thank you, everyone, for such a wonderful evening. This was a lot of fun."
And barkeep, a round for everybody left.
And they go, and Tam goes, oh, "Come on!"
What you said you drank for free?
But there's like a yeah.
I don't know that we got our round.
Well, I brought it in for you.
You brought
did.
that.
You
Was
drank it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. She kind of flips Quinlan the middle finger as she walks out.
Sorry, bye. You're really good at throwing things. Okay, bye.
He earned that.
Okay, so you go up the stairs, you go out into the courtyard, you see the statue for Rec, and then you go past that and down to your down to the south eastern corner is a wide. Looks like it's strange. It's a building, like kind of like a low squat kind of building with a tile, like stone tile roof. But it looks like over the years it has been added onto and it has grown. But you see lights on in the inside. You see chimneys, and 1 second. Okay, cool, awesome. So you see chimneys for like a lot of different kilns and pipes and things like that, but nothing is burning. There's no smoke or anything like that. It looks like it's closed. There's clearly people inside, but like the porch light is off. But there is a door there, and there's a light through the window set in the door, clearly on.
Tristan, I think you should be the one that knocks.
So he walks. He just looks over and grunts, and he just goes up and he just starts slamming on the door.
Oh, how hard do you slam it?
I mean, as hard as he possibly can.
The door just opens.
Make an attack against the door.
Okay. You hear kind of like a scuffle inside, like you really scared somebody, and then you hear a murmuring. It's not like a it's more like a kind of
No.
and then you see a shape, kind of like a hunched shape, and the door opens, and there's this kind of like withered older guy there with rheumy eyes, and he looks up. He's balding, his skin's a little slack, and he's hunched over a little bit, and he looks up and he goes, "It took you guys long enough."
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry, we got here as fast as we could.
I mean, you should come in, but he's like really mad and stuff. He doesn't like having customers this late.
Okay, well, we are going to come in now, everybody.
Okay. You guys should come on inside.
Sounds great.
And he turns and you follow him in.
Thanks, Greg.
Whatever. Talk to the hand. He doesn't put up a hand, he just says it. And he goes inside. And he goes inside. You go inside. There is this really lovely showroom with all sorts of armor and weapons and mirrors, and there's like several full suits of armor on display, and weapons hanging on the walls. Everything from halberds to rapiers to great swords to war hammers and battle axes and daggers, and just basically every type of martial weapon you can imagine. In one corner there is a wooden rack, like a really nice wooden rack, but laying across the rack are quarterstaffs and short bows and unstrung short bows and long bows and all sorts of beautiful equipment. There's a counter, and behind the counter you see writing in a ledger with these kind of, like those reading glasses you just set on your bridge of your nose. You see a woman in her maybe early 30s or late 20s, and she is writing, and she looks up. She goes, "Oh, hey, thanks for coming in. I'm Meg."
Darius.
Hi, Fleur. Nice to meet you.
Hi. And she looks at the older guy, and she goes, "Dad."
I knew it.
Tell me you weren't rude to them. And he goes, "I'm not rude. I'm not rude. Bram is rude. I'm old. It's okay. He told me so." And she says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that he's like this. He's been getting, he's sundowning. And like she kind of like winks at you a little bit. And screw you, Brendan. No one can stop me from doing this.
Yes. He's been sundowning for 30 years.
What's going on, you guys?
But Uncle Bram is totally waiting for you guys. Just, he can get a little cranky in the evening too, so just relax about it, okay?
I'm guessing you'll be glad to see other dwarves, though.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I see. I don't know. I feel like
Bless, look at how tall this dwarf is. He's very tall.
he's very tall. You're just like. Did you like? Are you like a mutant or something?
He really likes it when you bring it up and only talk about that.
Oh, I would love to do that. Please tell me everything about why you're so freakishly tall.
I get that a lot. I just, good genes.
It's
From
like
the
jumbo
back.
shrimp. It's like
From the
jumbo
back.
shrimp. It doesn't make sense, but that's okay.
From the
I
back,
love
you
shrimp.
hear
They're so nice.
From the back, you hear a voice say, "What's going on? Are they here yet?" And then all of a
Hi,
sudden,
Bambrock the Third.
it just comes this older dwarf comes out. He looks it's weird. He looks younger than the guy that introduced you.
Yeah.
Or that opened the door. But as soon as he comes in, everybody kind of just snaps to attention, and they're in employee mode, right? And he goes, "Oh, good. You took your sweet time."
We got here as fast as we could.
This one talks a lot.
He sees you talk. He hears you talk and looks over, and he goes, "Good Lord, laddie, what have you been eating?"
Anything and everything I can.
You're huge.
I get that.
A giant dwarf. Isn't that awesome? That is so cool. I think it's like finding a small giant. That'd be awesome too, because then you'd be like,
He's not giant. He's massive.
no, I'm just saying it wouldn't be funny. Anyway, never mind.
And then it's I heard you were a dwarf, but I was expecting more like what this guy's going on over here. And he points at Tristan. Tristan, I'm going to need you to roll as he's talking. Let's see. Roll an insight check.
Natural 20.
Awesome.
25.
So as soon as you see this dwarf, you immediately, because he's a mountain dwarf, he's very clearly a mountain dwarf. you immediately get nervous. Oh no, right? But as soon as you listen to his accent, it's the standard kind of. It's kind of like, you know how like when Americans hear a bunch of different English accents and they all just sound British.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a dwarvish accent, but it's not a Dor-Ramoth accent. It's more a little more guttural, a little more consonant heavy. You don't know where it's from, but it's definitely not Dor-Ramoth. And he goes, right, well, I'm Branbrock the Third. Everybody roll a history check except for Fleur.
So great at these.
Natural
not
one.
bad. 14.
Natural one. 14?
Yep.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry.
So many buttons to push.
No, I've been looking over. I was looking through all my components to make sure I
Two.
didn't need any components. So, hold on.
I rolled a 3. So I
Okay.
got 2.
Okay.
So this is a history, you said?
History, yeah.
They rolled a 3, so I got a 2. I like that.
22. 22.
Okay. 22. So both Tangent and Darius both immediately recognize the name Brambrock the Third. Not only is he famous for being a smith of great renown and skill, but he is also famous for being the Diamond Dog's personal smith, and is said to have even personally forged Mardigan's sword Mercy himself.
Mr. Brambrock,
Hey.
it is a pleasure to meet you. Heard a lot about your skills and handiwork.
His eyes kind of narrow at you when you say, and what exactly have you heard?
Oh, good things. All good things.
What sorts of good things? Spit it out, you giant lad.
Well, I mean, being the personal armorer and weapon maker of the Diamond Dogs
Oh, yeah.
tends
Yeah.
to
I
give
did
one a
do that,
reputation.
yeah. I mean, I kind of had to. They bought me this.
Yeah, you were in Korsborg before all of this, right?
I was. Yeah, until they burned it to the flippin' ground.
That's a lovely story.
Well, technically it was Lanthony, but they were there.
Well, it just so happens we are now in the employ.
Fleur leans in and goes, "You don't have to keep raising your hand on me."
Yes, you don't. What are you raising your hand for, you idiot?
Cramp. Sorry.
He does get a lot of questions.
Question. Did you know Domingo?
Of course I knew Domingo.
Tell me
Real
about it.
weird. Big hat. Yeah, I knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Not the time, honey, not the time.
Okay. Just wondering.
Are all of your questions going to be that stupid?
Probably, but that's okay because I have a lot of questions.
And by the way, and he looks back to Darius, he's like, you don't have to name drop Fenwick. I know who sent you here. Who do you think's paying for all of your kit?
Well, we haven't bought anything yet, so
Did you say
I'm
cat?
kind of hoping
Kit.
Kit. Cat?
Hey, IT kit!
we didn't meet the cat.
I don't like cats.
You can name
Can't
it.
I'm talking about cats. Move on.
Speaking of kit, we would like to do some shopping before we head out on.
I figured. That's why I opened the door.
Yeah. So what have you got?
What do you want? Look around. You see what I've got. You want better armor? We can make that happen. You want a better weapon? We can probably make that happen.
Yeah. Alexa will kind of pull up the firearm that you all saw briefly and said, "Have you ever seen any of these?"
Oh, let me have a look here. And he comes it's like suddenly, like as soon as like you've given him a project, now he's kind of calmed down and focused in. and he comes over and may I? And he takes. I'm assuming you're giving him a pistol.
Yeah, I'm giving him the pepper box.
Okay, so he looks at it. Oh yeah.
So there
That
are 6
reminds me a lot.
barrels.
I actually,
Six.
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually-
6 barrels that rotate.
I made something similar myself. And he hands it back and he says, still got a prototype from the one I built for one of my customers. And he reaches under a cabinet, or into a cabinet, and he pulls out a piece of oiled cloth and he sets it down on the table. And as you look, give that a gander.
Unwrap it and take a look.
So what you see before you can only be described by people who live in our world and not Wildaria as what is effectively a single action army. Yes, more barrels add more weight, you see. I've seen things like yours before. The pepper box, not bad, pretty good. But moving all that weight around, it's hard on the internals. So what I've done here is I've separated the barrel from the cylinder. A cylinder spins, but the barrel stays fixed in place. Makes it extra reliable.
Yeah, she'll like pop open the cylinder, kind of like just like a natural understanding of some of these firearms, and like
it's like a brake breach. So like it opens like a Webley. So like it opens up.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
She'll spin it around, get a good look down the sights. I like it.
You want that one?
This is where you say yes.
You can take it. I'm not the Finwick's the one paying for it.
He just likes to speak for me a lot. He's tried to do it like 3 or 4 times tonight, and
Not just trying to.
It's really getting him. It's really starting to, chafe my biscuits.
yeah.
I love biscuits.
Yeah, I think this will do.
All right. So, what are your current stats on your pepper box?
It's just a standard pepper box.
That's just a standard pepper box.
Yeah.
All right. So let me look that up here. Just make sure I'm making these adjustments correctly. All right.
Yeah. I didn't want to give myself anything too special.
Yeah. So this is let's see.
It's Fenwick's dime, Andrew. It's fine.
Okay.
Well, when I made the character, meaning.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
The musket is supposed to be flavored as a lever action rifle, though.
Trying to look for the I'm trying to look for the misfire score on this.
So
thing.
the standard pepper box is the misfire 2.
Misfire 2. Okay.
Reload 6.
Yeah. So if you roll all right, so you roll just quickly. If you rolled a 2 or lower on a D6,
D20.
D20 on my attack.
It's
roll.
on your attack roll.
okay.
Yeah.
If you lower it, this one will only potentially misfire on a natural 1.
Okay. So
it's more reliable.
I'll just make that note.
Okay.
There's no magic weapons here, I assume.
Why there are? You bet you they are.
Oh. Whoa.
What are you talking about?
Rapier?
Why?
Ooh.
What are you looking for?
A rapier?
Surely
What
not
kind of magic rapier? What do you do?
I'd like one that's really strong and very magical. So.
Well, I'll only show you the really magical ones then.
That's
and then he
really appreciate that.
And then you hear Craig go, "Good one."
I just say thank you. No.
Oh man,
that's my big brother. And then he goes over he like kind of ushers you over to a spot on the wall, and he's got 3. Actually, he's got. So now, what you'll notice here.
I'd like
So
a drow killing, a rapier of drow killing would be.
Afraid I don't got any of those fresh out.
Sorry, just.
But what I do have is this one here on the top, right? You see this one here. That one is extra magic in the sense that it's extra sharp. And extra light. Much easier to wield in the hand. Really helps with the balance and the attack.
Ooh.
The one below it, not quite as good, not quite as balanced as that. However, it does have some other special properties to it. Would you like to know what they are?
Oh. You got me speechless. Go.
All right. Well,
Fleur leans over to Alexa and goes, I think we just witnessed another miracle.
well, what you see here is that the blade is infused with just a wee bit of cold magic. And when it hits, it's harder to hit with, but when you do hit, it gives a little extra icy oomph to the hit. So he's basically explaining to Jeff is that the top one is a +2 rapier.
Ooh, wow, that's pretty cool.
The bottom one is a +1 rapier, but it does an extra 1d6.
So a frost brand rapier.
Yeah, frost brand.
Okay, so it's cold damage. Okay,
cool. So
they're about the same price though. Now Finwick told me that to really kit you up, he said you're gonna need it, but I doubt the sky is the limit. So you can't have both, but you can have one.
Wow. Okay. What do you think, guys?
Could I have the other one?
Oh. No, you got the revolver. Give me the revolver back, I'll give you it.
Well, what if I showed you something really cool?
It'd have to be really great.
She'll pull the rifle back out,
Oh.
and like functionally, it is just a musket for gameplay wise. But this one, similar to how you redesigned the pepper box, is something that I did.
You know, I tried to get one of these working.
So you see this action here, and she'll pull out the lever and pull it in.
Oh, it's like a lever action.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome. And he goes, oh, that's ingenious, putting the action on the bottom like that. He sees the bolt come out and hit the hammer. That's quite
and you can do really cool stuff like this, and
yeah.
Let me do my math.
I tell you what. I'll give you this instead. And he goes over and he pulls out another rapier. This one is just a flat +1.
I'll take that. Yeah.
but that beauty stays with me for the evening so I can make some notes.
We're not leaving until the morning.
All right. You come back.
I'll trust you.
I'll have it ready for you. All right. So you can add +1 rapier to your.
Yeah, and that, my friends, is how you negotiate.
There you go.
With flavor.
Well, you found Brambrock's weakness.
I know.
Cool crap.
Gadget.
I didn't run.
How do you think we got the mithril out of him? Anyway.
You're right.
I didn't roll the flavor I wanted for the musket, but I was like, I love lever actions. And
they're really cool.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I'll take the cold one. I'll take the cold.
All right.
The damage outweighs the additional 5%. So that's just my analysis. Anyway.
Okay. So you take. We'll add that to your character sheet. Okay.
Yep.
So don't worry about that.
Okay.
He looks at Darius and says, "All right. What about you, biggin?"
Oh, they like the armor or they like the weapons and stuff. I'm looking more for armor. What do you got in the way of?
That's kind of me too, by the way.
All right.
Making us a little harder to hit.
Armor is going to be harder because it's more expensive.
I'm not paying, so.
But here's the thing. What she got on there? And he looks at. Let me have a look at you. And he looks at your kit. What are you currently wearing?
I think it's just regular. It's regular half plate. So my
AC, look at that! You and I are.
Yeah.
You're within. We are within 1 inch of each other, and both wearing half plate.
Hey, mine would totally fit you. It's yeah.
No,
it's
I'm a little bigger. Okay, this is fine.
Be
No,
tied
don't say it.
across
Don't
the
make the
chest,
joke, Jerry.
right?
Don't make the joke. It's at the time.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so,
You're the
have
DM now. You can't say stuff like that. Okay.
so my AC is 17, and I'd like it to be a little higher, if that's at all possible.
What are you talking about? What's AC?
Well,
Yeah.
this is Adam talking, not
Okay.
Darius
I
talking.
know. I know.
Gotta bust your chops.
Yeah.
Air conditioning.
I tell you what.
Dwarf to dwarf. Yeah, this,
Dwarf to dwarf, are we?
You're Brambrock.
Aye.
I mean-
and you're not.
I know. That's why we came to you.
I mean, you want the diamond dog treatment. Go out and save the world a couple of times, and then we'll talk.
That's the goal.
I tell you what. I can't make you full plate armor because it takes too bloody long.
Fair.
But I might have a fancy breastplate back there for you.
Sounds good to me. Anything from Brambrock.
All right. Wait here. You. Doe-eyed one. And he points to Fleur.
We miss you.
You're looking for armor too, are you? Not a mace or anything like that. You got the cleric kind of look about you.
Yeah, I'm much more reliant with the magic of my goddess, so I would prefer more of the armor. You know, if it's not a big
Alright.
deal and stuff.
Like shields.
He's like looking up, and you get the sense that
Oh yes, a nice shield would be okay too.
he's looking you up and down, trying to like get like your measurements like mentally in his head. And he says, "I'm assuming that a shield wouldn't work for you, would it?" And he points to Darius.
My hands are usually pretty full.
Actually, I think I've got a bit. I'll be right back. And he goes in the back. And when he comes back out, he's got two things. He's got a shield. And he's got it's like a round it's like a round beater shield kind
Okay.
of like that with the what's that thing called, the circle thing in the middle that sticks out a little bit, the cone
Oh,
thing.
sure.
I can't remember the name, but he's got that, and it's got some filigree and some engraving on it. Looks like some dwarvish in there too. And he sets that down and he says, that there is made of the finest steel that money can buy, but it's got just a little bit extra into it too. So what he's offering you, Fleur, is a +1 shield.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
And then when he comes to you and says, "Now, Fenwick's a loyal customer, and I'm afraid that if I give you too much, he's gonna get so pissed off at me. He's gonna stop shopping here.
Well, that all depends if we come
And
back.
I don't
or
want
not.
that. I've known him longer, 30 years.
I
So I'm
get
looking
that.
out for his interests as well. So I don't think the breastplate I had in mind might be a bit much, but this might work." And he holds up an amulet,
Okay.
and it is an amulet that has it's an anvil. It's like a stylized gold anvil.
Okay.
You put that on, I think you might find yourself a little bit harder to hit. So that's a +1 amulet of protection.
Sweet. Okay.
So that'll up your AC by 1.
By 1. Okay.
And your saving throws, I think.
Yeah.
You don't have any magic studded leather, I assume. huh?
I got studded leather.
I've got studded leather. See, I show him my studded leather.
No.
No magic. Okay, got it. Thank you. I love to rub the rapier.
All right. And he looks to Tristan. You
He's
look like
holding
some.
his axe,
Yeah, he does. He looks at you and he says,
the one that's
"Yeah, not a jawbone."
Not a jawbone. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks at you and says,
But
I was going to say, he looks at you and says, you laddie, the quiet one, why do you look like somebody took a pee in your oatmeal?
it's been a rough few years.
I can tell. You look like 12 miles of bad road.
I swear.
I hope I'm doing this
know.
Bram Brock impersonation right.
Pretty good.
Go ahead.
It's better
Did
than
you hear what
wrote.
I said?
No,
Yes.
go ahead. I didn't hear.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I swear it keeps freezing.
No, you're good. You're good.
He says it's been a rough few years.
Oh yeah, and he responded to that with, "You look like 12 miles of bad road."
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for you?
Don't suppose you have any more axes?
Aye, I've got axes. What are you looking for? Hand axe, battle axe, great axe.
I'd like a great axe that hasn't seen so much wear and tear.
Okay.
And
all
you
right.
could see like the axe he's holding is pitted. Like there's actually
Let me see that.
small pieces missing.
Let me see that. He takes it. He looks at it, and he looks at the blade, at the pitting on the blade. And he goes, "Oh, that can't be." And he reaches in to his pocket, and he pulls out a jeweler's loop. He puts it in his eye, and he closes one eye and looks at it. Laddie, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this here. This here has been somewhere near something really big and really poisonous.
Yes.
You get what I'm chopping at here?
Yes.
The black dragon.
Not a black. That would be acid.
It was green.
A green. Huh. I'll tell you what.
Those are incredibly intelligent.
I'll tell you what. You give me this here. You know, I could sell it for an upcharge if it bit into dragon hide. And I'll give you this. And he goes over to the wall, and he pulls down a similar sized battle axe and places it down. And he says, "That there. That's a plus." I almost said +1 in game. That there's got a bit of magic in it. Again, a little lighter, a little harder hitting, but it's got a little extra oomph in it. You see, you hit them with that there, and the wounds that it makes are particularly nasty. What he's offering you, Cody, is a +1 axe of wounding.
Okay. So Tristan picks it up and
It's really well balanced. It's way more well balanced than your old axe. It's a great axe, like your old axe.
He steps back and makes sure that nobody's around, and he swings it around a couple times in a practice fashion. And he says,
Watch the merchandise, will you?
he goes, he looks at it and he looks up and he goes. So he goes. He's so out of practice. He doesn't have much personal
Interaction with
contact. So
people.
he says instead of saying thank you, he says gratitude.
Short and to the point.
Like how
I think a few more of you could learn that lesson. And he looks over. He like nudges over towards Tangent.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll try to remember that. Sometimes it's hard to remember because things get in your mind. And
Later, honey.
And you hear Craig go, "Oh my gosh, shut up!" I was like, "Dad, Be nice.
Little valley girl there.
I like
Dad!
Dad! Couldn't give her exactly the same voice as her dad.
God, you're so embarrassing.
So embarrassing. So he gets you all your stuff. You guys go ahead and mark it down on your character sheets if you want, or just make a note of it because we're not going to use it tonight.
Yeah.
And then he says, all right, all jokes aside, Fenwick told me a little bit about what he's got you doing and where he's got you going. I hope you understand. There's 2 reasons why he chose to do this. I hope you know that he's dropping lifetimes worth of gold on you 4, 5, however many there are of you tonight. Sorry, but sometimes I forget. It means this. Number 1, he's pinning a lot of his hopes on you. He believes in you. I don't know what you did to impress him, but it worked. That's not an easy thing to do. I'd never say this to his face. But when you're having drinks with Fenwick Thorn, you're having drinks with the most powerful wizard in all Wildaria.
Why wouldn't you say that to his face?
Because he's got the big enough head as it is.
Is that maybe Domingo? Not big
I'll tell you
power.
this.
I mean, anyway.
Well, you're right. Domingo's impressive. But he's no Fenwick Thorn.
Of course not. Duh.
But here's the thing. The second thing it means. He thinks you're going to need it. So be careful.
That included with all the other things that I'm sure he worked hard to secure for all of us. I think I gathered that. Not just the gear, but...
Aye. It's a dangerous road you all are walking. But I tell you this. You keep them blades of yours I just gave you close. That shield and that amulet even closer. And if Kamari is good, which I know she is, you might just come out of this alive. So be careful, huh?
We'll do our very best. I'm pretty good at, making sure people are feeling good and stuff.
All right.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I'll have your rifle back to you tomorrow. First thing.
And hand it over.
Greg, show him out. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You heard the guy.
Thank you,
Get a
Bramrock.
move on. Dad!
It was nice meeting you.
Hi, it's nice meeting you too.
That's getting worse.
Oh man.
So you head out in the evening to find shelter for the night. And that's where we're going to call tonight's episode. So next time we come back for Shadows of Twilight, the road to Bannockburg. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight.
right.
Hope you enjoyed it. We had a great time. Don't forget, we'll save you a seat by the fire. Peace.
Yeah.